Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in again to another episode of MNW Firing Line. My name is Joe, and tonight we have a very special guest, a Firing Line debut of sorts. Ladies and gentlemen, Marty the Intern.
Hello, Multiverse. Wow, I had to put on a whole suit to get in here. This is weird. Good weird.
And much like last time, we are joined by Flashbang Zone, Spectre Sonata representing the bad CG Ghost.
A pleasure to speak with you all this evening.
And we have a lot to go over. C101 news. We had a super show this past Saturday, and a trio and something going on with the trios division. But let us not fret for too long. First and foremost, CG, what are some of your opening thoughts before we get into Flashbang?
Well, the first thing and most important thing to me is what's going on with the cartel. Obviously, with Victor at the helm, he's been a lot more vocal recently, and, well, that's to say nothing of the continuing misfortunes of one Hutch Kale.
Marty, what are some of your thoughts?
Oh man, where to begin? We had so many new announcements from this past week. We announced the C101. We had a new number one contender name for the Flashbang tag belt. We had the whole announcement that we got from Doom during Flashbang. I mean, I can sum it up into just a few simple words. We're going to have to get straight into it, into the nitty-gritty of the details.
That sounds fine by me. And first and foremost, we are going to have to first check in with the best boy, the Sentai hero, the interdimensional champion. Ladies and gentlemen, we go down to the ring to hear from Brawl Kaiser.
Hi everybody, I did it! I did the thing where I went out and I crossed off open challenge, and then I crossed off, have multiple people challenge, and the original person doesn't actually get the title shot. It was a weird situation, but I got to cross off two things at once. So thank you, but also, what the hell? I just wanted to come out here because, Simon, I understand that you're really upset, and you thought that you had claimed your spot, and I thought you had claimed the spot, and apparently, you know, Hutch Kale just is obsessed with me, and it's really weird, and it's starting to get creepy. Lawson, it'd be great if you could do something about that, by the way. But I have an idea. So, I know I already issued an open challenge, but, Lawson, if you are able, I think we should do Simon the Psycho versus Brawl Kaiser for the Interdimensional Championship anyway. I mean, technically, you did accept the open challenge, and it wasn't your fault that, you know, Hutch decided to be crazy. And you just got caught up in the middle of, like, I don't know, a divorce case. So I am willing to give you a shot at the Interdimensional Championship, and I'm even willing to do it right here.
Yes, I couldn't help but come out here and hear you say Simon deserves a shot at the Interdimensional Championship, Brawl. Brawl, I've been waiting patiently. Perhaps you haven't been paying attention to what I've been saying, but this is my moment. Your title belongs to me.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna need to start like a waiting list or something. This is getting out of control. So I'll tell you what, Reaper, just so that we can maybe not turn this into a brawl, how about you get an opportunity at the Interdimensional Championship after Simon and I fight? Because I know even if he happens to win, I'm sure he'd love to get his hands on you.
Bro, I am not content to sit here and listen to you babble. I deserve a shot now. I should have beaten Nero, and now I'm being looked over once again. And it will not happen again. You will give me the shot I deserve, or I will eliminate Simon from the picture.
All right, so let's not do that. Let's not do that. No more jumping Simon. We know what Simon can do. And while you might be prepared for that, I am not looking to fight more interdimensional beings that don't belong in the multiverse. I'd rather just fight normal old Simon, okay? So maybe don't piss him off. Why does everyone piss off the people I have to fight? I always have to deal with it. It's really not okay.
Simon is no threat. No matter what form he comes in, with or without his elder, I will rip his soul from his body. For it is what I do. And you, boy, you seem to be scared of the Reaper. And you should be. Now give me what I asked for.
All right, so what did I literally just said don't make him angry because I just offered to fight him, and now you're gonna. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Why don't we just let Lawson decide who's fighting who? Why don't you have like a #1 contenders match or something? I don't know. I'm trying to be flexible here, dude.
No contendership matches. No more earning title shots riding in a skip line. I will take that belt off of you, and if I have to take out Simon to do it, then so be it. I do not care. I like Simon. He's a good person. But I will have that championship around my waist. I have been denied singles gold for too long.
Right, I agree. You have been denied singles gold for way too long. Wow, you really have been. Anyway, that is not the point. I agree with you. I just really need you to not attack Simon. Don't fight Simon. Don't say his name. Simon says don't do the thing, okay? Same comprendo? Guten Tag?
Do not patronize me, bro. I will take it under advisement, but I will warn you that if Simon gets the opportunity before I get it, there's going to be problems, and they're going to be your problems. I will make my frustrations everyone's problems. Is that clear?
He chopped him!
He said he'll make him everybody's problem! And a back body drop on Brawl!
Oh!
Reaper said he'd make it everybody's and a clothesline! And another clothesline! And he's beating the hell out of Brawl Kaiser! And Brawl ducked! And
And there we have it. Brawl Kaiser reveling in his victory over Nitzig Gunk Gobbler, only to have the Grim Reaper come in and kind of make a bidding for his title, like for a title shot. But then this is getting more and more complicated by the day. Marty, what do you think?
Poor Brawl Kaiser. Every week, somebody. He just wanted to throw out a simple open challenge, and now every week he has more and more people jumping him in and out of the ring. I mean, you can't help but feel bad for the guy, honestly.
CJ?
Well, unfortunately, that's what you get when you have an open challenge. You have a habit of inviting every single person who has a bone to pick with pretty much anything.
Yeah, but...
In all honesty...
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, in all honesty, this is quite the house of cards that he is setting up for himself.
It is definitely becoming a little... It's definitely tricky, to say the least, but I don't know. I just had a thought of what better for a Tokusatsu Sentai hero than to have a villain of the week, or like a opponent of the week coming at him.
Is there going to be an explosion when he pins them in the ring?
God, I hope not. I don't think we have the insurance for that. We've seen how it...
Do we have insurance?
Well...
Certainly not life insurance.
I made this bed. Anyway, let us go on to a time-honored classic here in MNW, the Flashbang Showcase, starting off with the Colts Classic. Henry Colts representing the Grand Equation. Coming up next, then we have representing Apex, Zephyr Tail. And then representing Princedom, the Aristocratic Canid. A lot of people are on trios. Speaking of which, we have Artemis, who made a bidding for the tournament. And here we have Omni Geek, one of the solo people. Representing AAA is Demolition Fox. Representing Vaporwave, we have Rico Rose. Stunning looking. And Shere Khan, another solo person, actually. And as a showcase usually starts, mass chaos. It's just a all-out brawl.
honestly hard to follow who's performing the best here. Just constant carnage.
Like mentioned earlier, all but 2 of these men have are representing bigger teams. Shere Khan's solo and as well as the Omni Geek. Ah, God, elbow drop missed.
Going for a quick pin, but unfortunately the ref is a bit indisposed and a little levitation-y today.
I do gotta ask you both, who did you have your money on for this match? Because this is an incredibly interesting setup that we have here for the showcase.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had mine on Kaned. Kaned has shown a lot of luck when it comes to showcase victories. I believe he won 3 in a row, and proccing APS to kind of call foul.
I've always been a proponent that Caden has a little bit more block than bite. I was in the corner of the other orange-colored animal-themed wrestler, Shere Khan.
Oh, where's my pick gone?
I originally actually went a bit of the recent, I went a bit of a different route and actually put my money down on Rico Rose, considering how their performance was at Breakdown 7. I was a bit excited to see how they would do in the ring today.
Most definitely. Rico has shown quite a lot of improvements in in-ring ability as well as just like overall style. Granted, he is teamed with Apollo Hades, so style is going to be literally dripping down that man. Colt Classic.
Oh, absolutely.
Colt Classic right on the Shere Khan. Going in for a count, 2, and kicking right out at 2. You need to have a lot to put down the King of the Jungle. And speaking of Rico Rose, looks like he has a leg bar on top of Demolition Fox there. And Fox gets getting right out of there. I believe that's Omni Geek out on the side.
Taking a quick second to catch your breath while everyone else is fighting. Very important strategy during an 8-man.
Oh, absolutely. You gotta make sure all your sides are accounted for. You gotta make sure all your limbs are accounted for too, because if you're not careful, you're gonna get absolutely bodied by another person you don't see coming.
I'm fairly certain that's how most of our refs go.
Oh, absolutely. Those poor refs. They should probably be paid more.
Well, they were pretty much given immortality, so they don't have to pay much on the insurance.
Doesn't mean they don't feel pain, though.
It's fair enough. See, here looks like we got a bit of a mosh when it comes with Omni Geek, Demo Fox, and Rico that on the side. Nice little hurricane run into that roll up. much like we spoke earlier, the ref not really knowing where to go, had 2 pinning predictions and was torn between the both of them. Shere Khan just giving it to freaking Henry Colt right now. Looks like we got Omni Geek with a pinfall over Rico. Goodbye, Rico.
You know, Omni Geek is always one of those wrestlers that everyone seems to underestimate, and I don't quite get it.
You almost gotta wonder if that's a strategy, frankly. He is I'm a little slow on the uptake. He's like a detective, a hero, both. I'm still learning as I go.
Funny enough, we will be getting to that later on in the night. Wink, wink.
Ooh, suspicious winks.
Yes. And, well, I believe it's mostly because people don't really think of Omni Geek as a wrestler. They think of him as the detective, as the investigator. So they kind of they don't really think about his in-ring ability, which, I mean, to your point, Marty, could actually be a very viable strategy for him. Pay attention to what he's doing out of the ring, not in the ring.
Absolutely.
Oof.
What's that
Going
old
under the
saying
radar
about
can... Apologies, go ahead.
What's that old saying about the knife you don't see coming?
And now look out!
Colt Classic right onto Shere Khan with Omni Geek resting on the turnbuckle. 2 kicks out right at 2. I mean, this is a man that went toe-to-toe with Kevin Blackwell and came out clean on the other side. You're going to need way more than that. A second Cult Classic, though. Nope. Not even a second Cult Classic back-to-back.
Right hands. Right hands.
Let's not forget that Henry Colt himself is quite famous for these one particular 8-man showcases where I believe he eliminated everybody in that match?
Yes.
Or almost everybody.
I believe that was his first showcase win, too.
I believe it was as well.
To the corner we go.
Would have to double-check with Carla in the records, but yeah, I believe like his first showcase when he eliminated 7 people. And prior to that, he was a little down on him. Like, I actually spoke to him previously on it, and he was like, yeah, don't pay attention to me much, none. And then he goes on and does that.
He's gonna fly, and he's gonna jump over on me.
I have to wonder where his mental state is nowadays. He seemed a bit adrift not too long ago. I believe he's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he has followed Matrix along with Rabbit.
Yes, he joined the Grand Equation.
1, 2, oh, how did he kick out?
I'm still not sure what to make about that particular group.
I don't understand it.
I mean, if Rabbit can vouch for Matrix for Lionel, I mean Lionel can't be that much of a bad person.
Right hand.
Rabbit's
He handed me a pamphlet the other day.
Time for the lasso. Lasso
he handed me like
locked
5 during during our interview, but respected my beliefs.
in. And Khan is tapping out.
Oh, well, that was very kind of him.
And then we have a
I was
lasso.
just kind of like,
Sorry, go ahead.
I just kind of looked at him like, what is this? And then he was gone, like a ghost in the night.
Down goes
No
Colt.
offense, of course.
We had the lasso.
Take it.
We had the lasso given to Shere Khan. He couldn't pin him, but he could sure tap him out. And then ring 0 onto Henry Colt. 1, 2, 3. OmniGeek picks up his showcase victory on this night. And I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, go ahead.
Was
go
this
ahead.
OmniGeek's first showcase victory?
It was either his first or his second.
I seem to remember him having a win earlier.
I believe that he actually has had one. I mean, name a person on Flashbang who hasn't had a showcase victory at this point of their career, especially one who's been... Okay, we're just gonna move past that, and I will give a heartfelt apology on that one. You're better, like, okay, CJ, like, you're much better in a team scenario. Like, your guys' latest trios win didn't really go as well as you guys would have hoped, but you guys were like definitely the closest out of any trio that's ever faced Doom.
I appreciate your words. They certainly softened the blow a little bit. But we're not here to talk about me.
Well,
No, I'm here to talk about other people.
Well, what are some of your thoughts after OmniGeeks' second victory in a showcase match?
OmniGeek has, as we've mentioned before, always been such an expert at kind of laying low and coming in at opportune moments with really surprising skill. I was really quite impressed with the last 3, though. Colt is always someone to watch out for in a 8-man showcase situation, and well, ever since Shere Khan came back, he's been, how do I put it, a high-level threat.
Marty, what are some of your thoughts?
I was gonna say the same thing. The performance of those last 3 in the showcase match was absolutely acceptable. Some would say even pay-per-view worthy. I'm hoping we get to see the 3 of them in the ring again sometime soon.
Oh god, like a triple threat match with those 3 in particular, that would be fantastic. I would
That would
definitely.
be exciting.
Most definitely. But we were talking about Doom earlier, and now we will be transitioning into a promo from the Pumpkin King himself, 1/3 of Doom, Mad Jack.
Hello, Multiverse! Greetings and salutations! All those wonderful introduction things. I'm a bit disappointed. I thought there would be a parade out here.
looking for an opportunity at the trios titles, and yet I see nothing. And I would be a little nervous too, but Halloween's over. You totally have a chance now. Come on, don't be shy. Vaporwave. Of all teams, I thought you would make a proclamation. Remember what I said last week? We're doing a bit of a tournament, but I don't know who's going to be in it. Everyone's running scared. That's no fun. So I talked to Mr. Lawson and we decided to make this an official thing. We are going to be having a Doomsday tournament. That's right, because whoever actually wins gets to face Doomsday, exactly. Thank you for following along. We have a sign-up sheet in the back. Whether you have a team or whether you make a team, we're taking on all comers. So, figure it out. I know I've been busy recently, but I can assure you these titles are going nowhere. I rather like the feel of gold around my waist. I could get used to it. I waited so long I wouldn't want to give it back too soon. So bring your veterans, bring the newly established teams, or if you're bored, why don't you find some friends and come fight Doom? After all, Xericus and I were randomly thrown together, and now we're one of the most well-known teams in all the multiverse. We're known throughout the lands. So the choice is yours, the opportunity is yours, but just remember that what awaits you at the end of this tournament is already in the title, Doomsday.
Mad Jack calling on a tournament for all the trios in Flashbang. And there are a few that have been posted. I know for a fact... Huh.
Joe, answer your phone.
Hold on, let me get
Hang
the
on.
list for you.
Yes, please, as I go ahead and take care of this.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, why are there so many papers in this desk?
It's a desk. It's where you put papers.
But look at that. These are like whole binders.
Ah, here's the one we're looking for.
Nice.
Let's see. The teams entered into the Doomsday Trios tournament are... Oh, I dropped the paper. Here we are. The Guild, the Cyberbots, Triple A, question mark, House Caliban, Apex, Vaporwave, Fabulous, Helix and Ramoond, another question mark, Honor Bound, the Omni Slayers and Wily. Ooh, that's a team up I'm looking forward to. D&D, the Troll Train, the Grand Equation, question marks again, Alexis Edmonton and Electro Reality. That's another fantastic team up.
Interesting that some of these are labeled as question marks.
It's not that uncommon. I did it myself when we debuted with PM Ghost.
That's true. Now, there has been a bit of a rumor on the mill as of late. Wondering if Spectre Sonata was actually going to enter the tag tournament, or the trios tournament, because you could, technically, if one of your members were to swap out and the other manage, you could enter the tournament.
You know, I have heard those rumors as well, and I've also heard a few people saying, oh, I really wish they would take another crack at those belts. Well, ultimately, we did have a crack at those belts, and we came up short. It's a bit too soon, and frankly, as much as we would appreciate another companion to wrestle with, I think we are all in agreement over at the Dead House Sonata that we want to take the Trios tag gold for ourselves.
Well, then I hope you don't mind me asking, if hypothetically you were to bring someone else in, who would your first pick be?
it would have to be someone who has very much a powerhouse, skilled, and with a good sense of fashion. Personally, I think Magnus could pull it off, but he might be spoken for. Also, no offense to the Madness himself, there's a lot of baggage following him.
Also, Madness
You ain't kidding.
Madness has a very booked card that we are going to be, seeing here later on in the show proper. I mean, if anybody would know Madness, what Madness is all about, Marty here has been front row and center witness to a lot of that.
Yeah. I gotta shoot a gun at him. That was interesting. Live rounds! Come on!
Well, you want to know what's also interesting? Our next match, Michael Macabre versus Ramund. Now, this is from what the rumor mill has been saying, this has been Helix and Ramoon's bidding for the tournament, and no one really knows who their third is. A lot of people are saying that Ramoon and Helix are trying to reform the Four Horsemen.
That would be scary.
A little.
If I may be honest,
Go ahead.
I think that's a misdirection.
Well, Ramoon has been known to play the odd mind game here and there, and given who he used to be teamed with, Grizzly Adams, Dr. Grimm. I mean, pick a member out of the Faces of Fear. But yeah, like I wouldn't doubt it, but may as well prepare for the worst, but expect a big name, or hell, someone who we don't even expect to go in, because like I don't know. I'm just thinking, what if Sheepy just joins Helix and Ramoon?
Oh, I'd love that, actually.
That definitely seems like a Ramoon recruitment, with Helix being told after the fact.
Yeah, but one of the teams that I'm actually curious about, I'm curious about hearing, is Apex, especially with who they volunteered to go in there. It's Blight Howlis and the Minotaurs.
Ooh, firing on all cylinders.
They want Trio's gold, and they want it now.
Makes sense, too, considering how much Primal Heat has been doing in the ring as of late.
Most definitely. Also, that Tope con Hero from Michael Macabre. My God. You figure he's weightless, as if he's a bag of bones.
Man, you're really digging yourself a hole tonight, aren't you?
Uh-huh. And I like...
He's already got 1 foot in the grave.
and I liked him, too. I don't want to keep making jokes, man.
Wait, I don't get that one. Can you explain that one? Actually, we don't have time.
We actually do.
Oh, do we?
Yeah,
Oh,
we have like 3.5 hours.
oh I see.
I'm more focused on what's currently happening. Oof. Always a rough night when your face comes in contact with the edge of the ring.
And that big mushroom stomp onto the Harbinger of Doomsday. And then here we see Ramoon trying to take the turnbuckle off, getting a little bit of leverage against against Macabre.
And setting up for one hell of a right hand.
The punchline delivered straight to the skull, going in for a cover, with Majak immediately trying to interfere, delaying a possible loss.
Majak is certainly hard to ignore. I don't blame the ref for heading over that direction.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. Yeah, and at that point, that's when they were announced, and here we see Ramoon kind of getting back to any kind of momentum and just pandering to the crowd. Nice little scoop slam there. Going in for a count. Kicks right out at 2. Turnbuckle's still exposed, by the way. You figured the ref would have covered it up by now. Punchline.
Another punchline.
2. Kicks out at 2.
There's the ref noticing the thing with the turnbuckle, missing out on the pin.
See, and this is what could, and Ramon could have gotten the pin here, but I think he pretty much, he kind of, there's a word I'm looking for here, but my brain's failing me. He could have
Shot
won.
himself in the foot.
Yeah, a little bit. There we go.
He's saying, I dare you to come over here and try that nonsense.
Phrase I'm very familiar with, hanging around Madness. He likes that phrase.
Yeah, we had Majak kind of talking smack to Ramon, going back to that old rivalry at the beginning of Flashbang, saying who the actual jester, the actual jokester of MNW truly is. With Majak actually coming on top of that. Kick out right at
Must
2.
be said, Michael Bacob's resilience is on full display in this match. Ramon basically had the entire fight, all of the momentum, up until that moment where the turnbuckle was put back on. And Michael had to endure all of it, and he came out there. Oh, sorry. He endured all of it and put up quite the fight.
With your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Ramon. And, like, I mean, you would have to be a resilient wrestler like Michael Macabre. Oh, there it is, flashing the sign of the Horseman. Now, could this be a red herring like previously stated, or is this a sign of things to come, much like the apocalypse? But
We'll find out, but
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, regardless, it's gonna give Ramon as well as Nexus and whoever their third member is, it's gonna give them some major momentum going into the tournament.
Most definitely, and like I was previously mentioning, you being a trios champion, especially like how to get those belts, you have to be in a tornado 6-man tag. You have to not only keep your head on swivel, you have to be resilient. You have to be one of, if not the toughest guy in that ring. Not only to last, but to even win, because you're gonna have a situation to where you're gonna have at the very least 2 people attack you at the exact same time.
Indeed.
So, before we get into our next segment, Marty, what are some of your thoughts of that last match?
Oh, I kind of said what there is to be said. It was an incredible match, honestly. Much of what was on Flashbang, I would say it was pay-per-view worthy, truth be told. And again, it's going to give Ramon, as well as the rest of his tag team, or his trios team, major momentum going into the first round of the trios tournament. I'm excited to see I'm excited who they're up against. I'm also fearful for them.
CG, what are some of your thoughts?
My main issue is that going after Doom before the tournament might be tipping their hand, which is why it's smart of them to keep their third in reserve as a bit of an X factor against that. So smart planning on their front. Though I did actually have a thought about who that last person might be.
Care to share?
Has anyone seen Mecha Nero around anywhere?
I figured Sheepy kept that in like a closet somewhere in the AAA's locker room.
I thought that was a joke. Wait, is there actually a Mecha Nero somewhere?
Yes.
Oh.
Yup.
Oh no.
Sheepy made it to, I guess, to help combat Nero's wrestling style, and then I believe Johan took a crack at it before his title match with Nero.
I see.
It moves like him, wrestles like him, but it doesn't have the same kind of hypnosis stuff as Nero.
I'm learning a lot today, apparently.
We work in a crazy company. I mean,
God, yeah, we do.
I mean, you've met our head of HR, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I still have the scars.
Listen, like it's for some reason he wants the blood drawn, and it's better if you don't fight it. But
It's for his stellar banana bread they makes.
oh god, it was delicious. Anyway, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we hear from one third of the cartel, Hutch Kale.
Well, well, well. It seems people are paying attention now. All I had to do was kick somebody's head off, and now all of a sudden everybody's got eyes on the cartel again. You see how easy it is to play this game, guys? It really is a simple equation. So now let me turn my attention to the tag team champions. Magnus, I get it. You want to send in your promos from afar and you're scared. You want to offer your hand in friendship and then try to kick my head off when I least expect it. I don't trust you, especially since you've corrupted my wife. But look what happens to people that step between our goals and the cartel. Apex got their head kicked off. Nero will now be a shell of his former self thanks to Victor. And us two, we're gonna make sure, Nitzig and I, that those championships don't remain around your waist. And then Brawl, believe me, buddy, I haven't forgotten about you. You better make a really long wait list, because when I'm
Hutch, Kale, how good it is to see you out here. I can't help but notice that you seem to have Apex's name stuck in your mouth. Now, is that because you're obsessing over us? For someone that seems to have put us in your rear-view mirror, you sure do look back a lot, don't you? Or am I wrong?
Phoenix, this is the second time you've come out here to try to spar with me vocally. I'm gonna suggest you don't make it a third time. I was going to address my wife and the challenge that I made last week. We are done with Apex, and so is pretty much everyone else around here, in case you haven't noticed.
Believe me, Hutch, I have noticed. And actually, I'm rather glad about that. While everyone has obsessed over Nero and his title reign, they have underestimated the rest of us. All of us. And you're underestimating us right now, which gives me the advantage, you see.
You don't have shit, Crimson. You don't have anything. No championship, no accolades, no match tonight. You are nothing. You have nothing. 180-something pounds of nothing.
Actually, I'm 205 of pure Phoenix. And actually, your wife is going to learn what a threat I can be tonight, Hutch. While you've been busy running your mouth, Apex has been busy making matches, talking to the brass. You see, Nero does still have their ears.
Speaking of names in other people's mouth, you keep my wife out of your mouth. Her name, any insinuation of her, because you see what happens when people push that button. It's not a good one for you to push.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did that strike a nerve? I will keep that person's name out of my mouth. But I will fight them here tonight. In fact, Mizuki and I will make an example out of the Mad World tonight. I'm going to get my hands on your wife before you do. Oops, I said it again. My mistake.
Your mistake, huh? You're right. It is your mistake!
Oh, and Hutch is...
And here we have it. Crimson Phoenix later on in the night teaming with Mizuki to take on the tag team champions of the Mad World. Maybe sending a message to Victor Vicious? Who knows? And Hutch, it looks like he is on his last nerve. CG, what are some of your thoughts?
Well, Apex was probably smart to send out Phoenix to do the talking. You know, Phoenix is a good friend of mine, actually. And I can say that they are very good at getting under people's skin when they want to.
And Marty, what are some of your thoughts?
They pushed the wife button. Hutch has shown time and time again that he will unleash every ounce of power he's got if you talk about or if you mess with his wife. And based on what we see later, I think it might have messed with his mojo a bit tonight.
But I'm right here.
You are right there. That's true.
It's a.
What would you rather me use a different term?
It's an old family joke.
I see.
Oh, like it didn't get any better after the Austin Powers movies came in, and like the word mojo was being used. I swear my dad was the worst when it came to it. So many stupid puns and jokes. Ugh. Anyway,
I can't imagine that the Powerpuff Girls being on TV helped either.
oh God, no.
Would you prefer if I called you Joseph Mo Joseph?
I mean, we've known each other for this long. I don't think we need to be that formal.
Fair enough.
But we spoke earlier about Blight Hallis teaming with the Minotaur brothers, making their bid for the Trios tournament. And here we have Blight Hallis with Lapris and Revolos going up against Cool J Kyo of the Cyberbots. And it looks like that they actually did recruit a new member in the rookie Talus Sid. And here's my question. Why didn't they make Talus Sid go up against Blight?
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, he wrecked shop against Otaro Azul in the back. One of the biggest wrestlers we have here. But then didn't send him against Blight. Seems like a missed opportunity unless they're holding him out as a secret weapon.
See,
Perhaps Cool J Kill was the one who requested.
that feels about right. Or maybe it's like a proving ground thing, especially with Kyo and Cyber Controller's loss to AAA back at Breakdown 7. And we don't really know too much about Kyo. He hasn't really talked all that much. They kind of let Cyber Controller do most of the talking for their faction. But, I mean, I guess it is a faction now. But, I don't know. Like, he seems to be very, determined. And even though he is a robot, he still has that, like, heart of a warrior kind of deal going on. Whereas Blight is a fucking monster.
Yeah. And we're gonna see more from both of them, as well as both of these factions in the I keep almost saying the tag team tournament, in the trios tournament that's coming up very soon.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we'll see a rematch.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh yeah, Cyberbots are in the tournament, aren't they?
Indeed.
Yeah, there they are.
Along with no less than 3 entrants of question mark.
Yeah, we will definitely see those hopefully next week or this coming later on tonight during Friday Night Flashbang or in the coming week. Because today is the last day to send in your bids for any of the talents who are listening prior to the show tonight. But this match just shows that Blight's brutality and just viciousness. Bouncing off the ropes, the pounce. Like, pretty much, I think Kyo did a double flip there. He's unsettling. I can't state that enough.
And then following up with a spear.
The howling onto the boxing bot. 1, 2, kick out. Right at 2. I forgot that he had a close call on that one.
This was admittedly a rough match for Kyo, which is fair. It is Blight Hallis.
Unfortunately.
Are you not a fan of Blight Hallis?
You've met Brad, right?
Who?
Okay. We're going to have to That's a long story, and I don't want to get into it right now. But yes, I am not a fan of Blight House. But according to this note that I have to have framed above my monitor here, I can't shit talk Blight. Another howling onto Kyo. 1, 2, 3. Like anybody was, Blight House is the winner. Much to, I think they actually ran a bet on this, and about 70% of the people bet on Blight to win.
Understandable. Have a day.
It's fun to be the 30% in those particular odds.
But sometimes you are, sometimes you're actually pleasantly surprised to see if it actually wins. Like if your guy actually wins, and that long shot could get you a whole net gain. I mean, only one person has been able to pin Blight House, and that was Wyatt Lee, who also is in that tournament with the Omni Slayers, Artemis and Jagger Blackthorn. So, before we move on, Marty, what are some of your thoughts about that match?
I think Cool J Kyo is going to need more than a few repairs after that match to prep for the Trios tournament.
And CG?
I'm pretty sure Cool J Kyo spent half of that match mid-air.
Yeah, that feels about right. I pray. I'm an agnostic at heart, but I don't envy whoever's going to be in that first round with Blight and the Minotaur brothers. I pray for their for whomever is facing them safety, because it shows here that Alexis Edmonton and Electro Reality are also in the first round, and I remember Electro Man versus Laprise. It was not great.
Yeah, when did that trio become a thing? It's a very interesting combination of individuals right there.
I believe Alexis Edmonton put out a call, and Electro Reality answered.
Fair enough, honestly. If it works, it works.
Most definitely. But coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we mentioned the Mandalorian before. Here we have Hutch Kale paired with Nitzik Gunkagabla going up against the Bulldog Grant Martin, being led to the ring by his partner in the Honor Bound, DeLuna 13. And just right out the gate, right hand, hard hitting right hands from Bulldog, just shoving Hutch to the ground. He is not happy.
This was one hell of a slob knocker. I'm surprised that both of these men were able to walk out of the ring without any support from the medical staff.
Well, Hutch is shown to have a lot of, to be very proud, and he can endure so much more than a lot of people give him credit for.
Especially after, being rage fueled by the Crimson Phoenix after said Phoenix hit the wife button.
Oh yeah.
Rage fueled, yes, but you have to wonder if it made him sloppy as a result.
I mean, you say that, but his strikes, much like always, have been precise. I mean, precision is pretty much one of the best skills that Hutch has in his wheelhouse. I have never seen any of his hits or strikes miss their target. Who keeps fucking with my? Who keeps
What was that?
That was my desktop. Sawyer! This happens every week. Aren't you the bad CG ghost? Didn't you come from the hard drive?
No comment.
Okay.
You can't just ask somebody where they came from. That's rule number 1 of the multiverse.
But how else are we supposed to say from wherever?
Elbows and leg drops and all kinds of
Very
somersaults.
I guess so.
Now again into the cover, and he's trying to send a message. He wants
And
to
we
win.
got Blight, not Blight, Bulldog going into the. He said, I see Brad is huffing outside.
Excellent reversal.
Yep. And there's a nice hip toss. And now the knee to the
Wait,
face.
is that Brad? That I just heard?
That's Brad, yes.
That was
impressive.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I see where that story is going.
Yeah.
Now, what has he got in mind here? We saw Kuso hit this. Now it's time for Hutch's version. Here comes target acquired.
And
Oh,
target
he got him
what?
right in
The
face.
what? That delayed hit right onto Bulldog Grant Martin. And apparently I got my notes wrong on the
Into the corner, knees up.
on the
And now
layout
Bulldog
of
kick to
the
face.
show. The Apex versus Mad
Hutch
World
Kill
match
laid
was
out the
before
challenge to
this,
Kuso Kill, saying,
and
I can beat you one-on-one. We get a title
swear to
shot.
God,
And the winner of tonight's main event
Sawyer,
goes to Tart.
it's
Here's the
okay.
combat
Sawyer
roll.
likes to fuck with me.
Combat
He does.
roll to Bulldog.
I
Deluda's saying we gotta cheer him on. Come on, Bulldog.
don't know what I did to him.
Oh, and he kicks out.
Oh, yeah!
I don't think anybody can answer
Target
that
acquired
question
into the combat
except
roll.
Sawyer.
But it was not to be.
Yeah, and he's gonna be a little busy later on in the night.
Now look at this. Look at the power of Hutch Kill.
And we got
The
Hutch
power
Kill
slam into
lifting
the
up,
turnbuckle and down to
Bulldog
the-
slamming him onto the ground after getting hit into the turnbuckle. CG, have you actually been in the ring with either of these guys?
And a kick out at 2.
Strangely enough, no. Bulldog was kind of out and about while we
Moves out of
were
the way.
forming Spectre Sonata, and when he came
Reverse
back was when
DDT.
we were looking for PM Ghost. And as far as Hutch goes, we've had interactions with Nitzig before,
grabbed him
but
by the
I
head.
can't actually remember if we've had an interaction with Hutch.
What is Bulldog doing
Didn't
here? Oh, look
Nitzig
out
and
here.
TK have a match one time?
They did.
Walking the
Everyone
dog.
was quite impressed that the small
He
TK
walked
could
the
lift
dog right to the
Nitzig,
center of the ring.
but that was, I think, before the cartel
corner.
actually
Back
picked him up.
elbow, Insigiri.
I could be wrong. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, Nitzig is like what,
Oh.
350 plus of like
Slapping his
pure
hand
muscle.
against the
He's
side
a
of
big
the mat.
man.
Look out here,
He
the
yeah,
Show Dog.
he's big.
Oh, look
And
at
then the
that.
Show Dog right onto
Dog.
Hutch. 1,
2,
2, 3, picking up a win
It's been a rough
over
night for the
Hutch
Bulldog.
Kill.
Here is your
And-
winner, the Bulldog.
See, here's actually one thing that I'm actually kind of curious of. Hutch Kill represents the honor bound.
Honor-bound message
We
sent.
haven't really seen them in any kind of capacity for a trios match, or like any
No,
kind of like
but they
team.
are labeled on the list to be in the trios tournament, so I guess we're going to be seeing them all together in the ring for the first time.
Are they? Interesting, interesting. I would love to see how they mesh well. But first thing is first. Mostly because incorrect placement of the of the thing itself. CG, what are some of your thoughts about that match?
Well, it's pretty much as I said before. He was sloppy. And shoutouts to Bulldog to capitalize on that.
And Marty, what are some of your thoughts?
I think this is going to be sort of an awakening experience for Hutch. I mean, he's been pretty reliant on that adrenaline rush he gets when people shit talk his wife, so we're going to have to see how he picks himself up after this.
But before we get into the match that was supposed to have taken place before then, we actually do have to get into our Flashbang promo of the week.
I accept your challenge, Bulldog, because contrary to what some might believe, Mandalorians don't run from a challenge. What have I done since I've been here? I've torn through not one, but 2 tag tournaments, being a mainstay of both teams. I've bested both the Lexus Edmund and the self-proclaimed best mercenary of MNW, Jack the Questionable, at the same time. I've helped beat House of Caliban. I've even defeated Death himself. I've also beaten my wife's best friend, Madness. In almost every pay-per-view I've been in, I have won. If you haven't been shoved up your own ass, maybe you'd see that I've done plenty of things. But instead of focusing on what I've done, let's focus on what I haven't done. I wasn't Prinny's and Earl King's lapdog. I didn't cost a man his home. I wasn't a party to a kidnapping and forceful brain removal. Hell, even Victor and I stopped working for the Empire after that. In fact, every bad thing I have done since coming to Flashbang doesn't really compare to that of your pet. You see, you and your boys club like to call yourselves honor-bound, but there's nothing honorable about leaving your friend behind and befriending a freak who stood by while atrocities against others have been committed. All I've done is hit people. And he can whine and moan about honor, But the moment the Empire fell, he joined you. So what does that say about loyalties, about integrity, about honor? I used to think you were honorable, Bulldog, but you left Shere Khan and chose that thing instead. You can't even be vengeful properly. Shere Khan had to take out Kevin Blackwell all by himself. You weren't ringside. You weren't doing a damn thing to help out. Someone had to do the job 2 men and an attack dog failed to do. You want to know what my problem is with you honor-bound boys? You have 2 honorable men siding with what should have been your enemy, especially after what Blackwell did to your father, DeLuna. Now you're allies with some freak who stood by while Earl King poisoned people, kidnapped people, enslaved people. So, to be honest, honor-bound wasn't even on my radar, but sure, I'll accept your challenge, and don't worry about my wife. She's too busy letting her friend make a mockery of our culture. I can use the target practice. Would be nice to be able to take out my anger on someone else. Kidu Trukatir Shaman Doare!
And there we have it. Hutch Kale not only accepting the challenge for Honor Bound, but also delivering a lot of what a lot of people argue are very hard truths about a lot of the situation, especially with like a lot of chatters on social media about why Simon the Psycho of all people as the third person of Honor Bound. Like, Simon is a very capable competitor and a little unsettling to say the least, but it feels random.
It's all in the name, actually. At least this as far as I can tell. They all follow their own codes. Simon, DeLuna, Bulldog, they follow the rules, whatever those rules may be.
Marty.
With all due respect, I think I gotta disagree. I kind of like what Hutch is saying. I mean, with all the things that the Empire did, it's kind of odd that 2 individuals so against the Empire and Empire-adjacent individuals would accept someone from the Empire into their ranks. It's kind of boggles the mind. You would think they would have picked someone like Shere Khan or someone that they are more connected with, you know?
Yeah, especially like after, Shere Khan and Bulldog were tag team partners, tooth and claw, and before Shere Khan had that run-in with Kevin Blackwell getting his mask stolen, and apparently having to control lycanthropy for a year. Hey, Brad, how'd you do it? Right, Caliban. Anyway, on that note, we will get into what we should have been playing earlier, and thank you for the 100 bits, Maximilian Thunder Thighs. I guess when you're working with VIP, you just drop money all over the place. Anywho, going into our next match, going right into it. No entrances, just a pure fight. The tag team champions, The Madness and Kuso Kale, going up against the Crimson Phoenix and the #1 contender for Victor Vicious's World Heavyweight Championship, Mizuki Napier, and just dropping Crimson right onto the ropes there.
This was an absolutely wild match, and you gotta think about, not only is Mizuki the one going up against
Mizuki
Victor
trying to take
Vicious,
out Kuso
but Kuso
already.
Kale was a
Kuso
participant
rolled
in
over.
that match. We could have potentially had a
Madness sent up
Kuso
over
Vicious
the top rope.
fight for the title belt,
Tornado tag team.
the heavyweight
Right
title
hands to
belt, which
Phoenix.
would be insane considering that,
And
you
now
know,
Mizuki.
Kuso has already got a title around her belt.
And Kuso ducked.
Double belt Kuso,
Another
though.
numbers
It
game
does
by
have a
Impact.
decent ring to it.
Here we go, locking him up.
It does.
Throwing
And-
into
I
the-
still need
in
to
the
ask her
corner.
where she,
Phoenix from
what happened
behind.
to MJF.
Look out here.
I
What do you-
Kuso
You-
dodging, jumping over
like,
Phoenix.
yeah,
There it is.
what are you talking about?
Target
There it
acquired.
is.
I mean, what did she do with him?
She is MJF.
Where is he? Did she kill him?
No,
Grabbing.
she
Fighting
was.
ahead is
It was a
Madness.
disguise.
Oh, there it is, the combat
was-
roll.
What a
Is-
combat roll
Combat
there.
roll
prank,
from
bro.
Mizuki.
Yeah, epic
Or
prank.
to Mizuki. 2 and a kick out.
I don't see it.
Now a knee to the back.
But I do see this match going
Now
on.
Crimson with a hip
Nice over the
toss.
shoulder from Phoenix.
And
Both
Mizuki
of
looking
these
for the
teams
cover
did
again.
incredibly
Kuso
well.
and a kick
Honestly,
out.
I think if we saw this match 100 different times, we would have seen it play out 100 different ways.
And another.
Oh yeah, with like 100 different kinds of
Now a kick
results
to the
too.
face of
I mean,
Madness.
I'm
Absolutely.
especially one that probably would have involved a
now
few
a kick
disqualifications.
And now Mizuki.
Here we go.
And here we have
Into
Madness
the cover,
trying to get a
trying
pin
to
on the
pin
number one
Mizuki,
contender
and a
and
kick
kicks
out.
out right at 2.
Coming
And
close,
tweeting out on
though.
social media,
Most
Rico
definitely.
Rose
Oh,
told
and
the
then here we have that
Federation
super
that
kick
they are
into
number
that
one
vertical
contender
suplex that
material.
gets
We'll
denied
see
by
you at the
Kuso,
tournament.
getting ripped
That-
right into the
So
corner.
Vaporwave officially throwing
I
their
think
hat in the
that
ring.
was the last nail in the
Goodbye,
coffin for
Madness.
this
Look,
match.
where is
It
this
kind
going?
of dictated how the rest of the
Oh,
match
what a chop
went.
to Kuso.
Oh,
That
shit.
that
Into the
upsy
cover,
daisy, as Madness
Phoenix.
call it,
Oh, and
calls
the
it,
elbow
could
to
have
the dome,
potentially
and a kick
been
out by
the end
Kuso. Rolls
for
through.
Apex in this match.
And a kick
Oh,
to the
most
back.
definitely. Out of both of
And
Crimson
a right
Phoenix
hand.
and Mizuki Napier,
Rolls through.
Bombshell
shapes
bombshell
the
car
GM.
straight to the number one contender, going
A
right up
bombshell
to the top
cards.
rope,
Phoenix didn't see it.
and
Going to the top rope. Looking for the combat
fly.
remote.
trying to go for that splash, but gets caught in the knees with the abdomen.
Phoenix is
Even in
beating
armor,
the hell
I
Very
can
well scouted.
I can guarantee you that still hurts.
Down.
But to my point earlier, out of both Mizuki and Crimson Phoenix, Phoenix is a tough
Again, looking for
fighter. He is a
another
tough
Phoenix
competitor.
driver on the outside.
But
Madness
he
might be
is
concussed.
but if you compare it both him and Mizuki,
Phoenix has been
Mizuki
doing
is
work on
definitely
the
the
outside
more
and it just
resilient,
saved the
especially
match.
because
Oh, what a
I mean,
kick.
she trained with Rabbit and
Sending Phoenix to the
Nero, but
outside, now
while
trying
they
to
were
pin
on the
Mizuki
indies.
again. Turn and a kick
It also
out.
seems like Mizuki
And now
has
Madness
become
finally
the
back in
sort
the
of de
ring.
facto leader for
Drop kick to
Apex since
Mizuki.
Nero's belt was taken by Victor Vicious.
Well, Nero deserves a nice long rest,
Reversal
especially
Madness.
after. I mean, he held the title for 400 plus
Ducks
days,
underneath, and now a
well
back
over a
heel.
year,
Phoenix.
with
Oh,
each match getting more brutal and brutal, with people trying to get their hands on his title.
Oh, this might be
If
coming up.
Mizuki has to ask him to take a break for a bit, I don't blame him.
And now Madness again
I would
shot to the
I'd
outside.
be doing the exact same.
And again rolling through
Not to
into
mention
the
that the
bombshell
Napiers
card
have been
is
going on
Kuso.
record as saying that what is it?
Into the
The
cover.
female of the species is the
Phoenix
more
is gonna be right
dangerous.
there. No, it breaks
While
it
Nero
up.
had that belt, Mizuki simply
Phoenix has
had
been
to
everywhere in this
sit back
match.
and watch the reign continue. Now that
Now the
it's gone,
reversal.
she has that chance to
Madness
prove what they've
reverses.
been saying.
Super kick to Mizuki.
You're definitely going to see that when
And
she
a
goes up against
clothesline.
Victor Vicious for the
And
belt.
again, Phoenix breaks it up.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with Mizuki. I
Now
keep
we're looking for
singing the
knee for
praises
nobody
though.
home.
Mizuki's
And now
precise
Madness
strikes,
with a
but
springboard bulldog.
precise yet brutal strikes. Kind of reminiscent of Army
sent to the
CQC
outside.
kind of
And now
style.
Mizuki
It is
looking for the
like
Madness.
you, and especially with like her
Knocks him down.
vicious looking submissions, you can never
And now grabbing him by the
underestimate her
throat and
like
chucking him
whatsoever. The
across
moment
the
you
ring.
do, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
She is a sniper for a reason.
And now this could be it. Madness, nowhere to go. Coil.
Speaking of submissions,
Coil's
Coil
locked
right
in.
onto the
Here
Madness.
comes
Kuso
who
breaking
knocked
it
out
up
the ref.
almost immediately, taking out the ref.
Looked for the super kick but couldn't connect.
And going for a super kick, but coming up just short.
And shoved
That
away
could
by
have been
Madness.
disastrous for Mizuki if
And
that
there's the
landed.
super kick again,
Going
missed.
for another one again, missing.
Oh, that one
She's
caught her.
doing fantastic,
That one
keeping
got
her
To the back
keeping
of
her
the
own
head.
on these
And now
2v1
shooting the
interactions.
shot.
Absolutely.
And now the Phoenix arrow.
Yeah. Phoenix arrow straight
arrow
to
to
Madness.
Madness.
Legs
Knee to the
getting right
face.
back up.
And an arm
And then that
breaker.
arm breaker right onto Kuso.
And now there goes Kuso. Phoenix.
Leaving
Madness
Madness in the
in
room,
trouble.
in the ring by
Looking
himself.
for the Phoenix.
The beginning of the end.
Driver.
With the Phoenix down.
Gorgeous.
Into the
Madness
cover.
nowhere to
Here
go.
we go.
One,
Teammate
two,
nowhere in sight.
Three.
Three.
And Apex has just pinned the tag
It's all
champs.
said and done,
There
baby.
we go.
Unfortunately, that means
What a
It was
a,
right from
win.
the start.
unfortunately that does mean a loss
Here, winners,
for
team of
the tag team
Mizuki
champions.
and the Crimson
But
Phoenix.
with the strategies of pretty much two of the smartest people in Apex, and that's not excluding Bravolos, it was pretty much just down to precision at that point and just executing their plan. Because
Mad World just didn't have enough beneficial situations in that match to where they could have pulled out a win. It happens.
I figured that at the very least, Madness would have been too much of a wild card to accurately predict.
I guess not.
Madness is a fantastically talented wrestler, but I wouldn't exactly say he's one for strategy.
Well, that's like,
You say that.
That's
I've seen his room, as he calls it.
Does he do any of his strategies in crayon by any chance?
or like red red line,
exclusively.
or like are any of them like kind of tied together with like red strings?
Yes, literally all of them.
Ah, it's like a cat's cradle kind of situation, huh?
Yeah, it's a sight to behold. That's all I'll say.
I will hold you to that because I don't really talk to Madness all that much, except for like the one time, and even then it was very brief. Anywho,
Very, very kind man. Just well, you know.
he's motivated. We'll say that.
He's ambitious.
Yes, very ambitious. But, and especially with one of the announcements that we are going to be that have been announced at the end of the Super Show on Saturday. But first, we go into a promo from the homicidal, suicidal Gemini.
Ah, good to see everyone here in such high spirits. You know, I was thinking, Nero, I was so excited to see you compete in tag team action last week, and now you've gone and disappeared again. Now you have honor bound trying to hunt me down, but thankfully our Mandalorian friend seems to be keeping him and his friends busy, which means we can dance. If we want to, you can leave your cares behind, Nero. Just come out and play with me. You might still have your title if it wasn't for me. Aren't you wondering where your other Minotaur is? Don't you want to put an end to this once and for all? I promise. Everything will be explained if you just fight me. It's been years in the making, Nero. I know you want this. I know you're frustrated. I know the despair you feel, and it is delicious. So show up next week. Give me what I desire, and I will give you what you desire. Win or lose, Nero. I will tell you everything. But you will lose, and I will put an end to the reign of Napier once and for all. Your title was but the first step. This is the final step. Together we will fall into despair. But only one of us will crawl back from the depths of that pit. And it will be I, reborn, to hunt something new. So let's suffer together, Nero. Fall into despair with me.
And there we have it. Suicide Gemini once again making a bid to go up against the Apex Predator, Nero Napier. And CG, you had some comments before we move on.
Boo! Boo! Terrible person. Boo!
Fair enough. I guess so. Marty, what are some of your thoughts?
Man, Gemini is certainly being bold, isn't he?
Yeah, a lot of people will have been making challenges to Nero for the better part of like a couple of years now, especially like before he was even champion. And this has to be the most thought out, I want to say. The one thing though that a lot of people are kind of giving him a curious eyebrow is he claims to be the one responsible for taking the title off of Nero, even though it was mostly the cartel who was doing it. Yes, he probably hired the Outlaws to go out to the Apex compound, but even then, there was a lot of people who could have came in to help. But he's like, nope, I did it.
It's almost like he's self-involved.
We know of
A wild concept.
there's a lot of people who still fit that bill, and we'll get to one of them later on in the night. But until then, we have the main event of Friday Night Flashbang, a tag team #1 contenders match between the Grand Equation, Lionel Matrix, and Hey, Mr. Rabbit, and then going up against the Time Bandits, Sandman and Thunderbolt, something Thunderbolt. And here we have Sandman and Rabbit squaring up.
What a match this was.
This was a fantastic match. This was hard to edit around, if I'm being completely honest. There were so many great moments. I advise everyone to go.
Absolutely. This was much like I said this for a couple matches throughout the course of this episode of Flashbang, but this was absolutely a pay-per-view worthy match. This was insane to see go down.
I suggest that everyone go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Multiverse Nexus Wrestling, and rewatch this match. It was fantastic from top to bottom.
You are doing yourself a disservice if you don't watch this match. This was incredible to watch.
And here we have the rookie Matrix going up against a Flashbang original in his own right, Thunderbolt. And just getting right back up, trying to go in for feinting a leg strike and then going right into the freaking elbow.
Matrix has been making leaps and bounds since he joined this company, and he is an enigma, I would say. I would say he's pretty unpredictable in most circumstances.
No, the Enigma's on the other show.
Oh, yes, of course, apologies.
What? I'm not even joking.
I see you.
No point.
I see you, CG.
Here's what I've been thinking of when this whole this whole match was going on. We have well-established veterans in this ring with the Time Bandits, one of our longest-running tag teams to date, against the relatively fresh-faced Grand Equation with a relatively fresh-faced rookie of Lionel Matrix. Admittedly, having Rabbit in the corner makes things a little closer, but still, it's quite the experience gap.
Yeah, I mean,
And they're performing admirably.
I mean, we've been singing the praises of Lionel Matrix for a while now, especially with how much of a how fast of a not only how fast of a learner he is, but also how efficient he has been. Like, he's got a whole mess of talent.
Time Bandits are ex-champions as well. They've held those belts several times, in fact.
Don't believe they've ever held gold in MNW proper. I believe
Have they not? I could have sworn they did.
No, there have only been 3 tag team champions, Dungeons and Destinies. Actually, no, 4 Dungeons and Destinies, and then dropping those to the Empire, former Empire of Grim Reaper and Dark Lord Popo, having the Bone Warriors beat them at Multivania, and then that next year's Multivania, Mad World. The Time Bandits have had an opportunity to get the tag titles from the Bone Warriors, but they have not been able to, as we all know, they have not been able to get the gold, so to speak.
As I'm
Well, then
sure
I
they're...
apologize for my misinformation.
You know, as I'm sure it's something that Sandman would likely say, gold around their waist is just a matter of time.
And here we got big clothesline onto the Sandman from the rookie.
Into the cover. One and a kick out.
So something else I kind of wanted to bring up in regards to this match is Rabbit's outfit. Does anyone else miss the ears?
A little bit. A little bit. I mean, his name is Hey Mr. Rabbit. You kind of get a little used to how a certain person looks.
Sandman with nowhere to go, and he rolled it over. Leg again. Rolling through.
And excuse me, just one moment. I'm giving a note from Phyllis. If you guys could accommodate.
Of course. Matrix and Sandman going at it, as always. Sandman showing just the rookie just how it's done, and tagging in Thunder.
The teamwork in this match was absolutely stellar on both teams.
As you would expect from such prestige.
Absolutely.
Now I remember that Sandman tends to be more of the vocal of the two, but Thunder, he's not exactly one to be overlooked.
No.
Certainly showing with this recent matchup.
Most definitely. I mean, Thunderbolt is that highwayman background. He is cautious. He is he's very what's the word I'm looking for here? He's very cunning. He doesn't like to make his presence known. Whereas, I mean, in a faction like the House of Caliban, you need at least one or two people to be that voice. Dr. Caliban is busy on Warzone helping out with Vince Smoke Sanji. So, I mean, Sandman kind of does have to be that vocal piece, especially because Dragoon mostly speaks in riddles that no one understands.
Is Dragoon with them?
Yes, he is officially part of House Caliban. Much as Donkey Kong, who we haven't seen Donkey Kong in a while.
Not since Multivania, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if Donkey Kong took his one win and decided to rest on his laurels.
He's probably busy as Caliban's lab assistant, especially with all those stress tests onto Vince Smoke, trying to get the last remnants of the hat in. And here we have lifting it up Matrix.
Oh, the strength on display.
Out of time onto the rookie, going in for that cover. 1, 2, breaking up by Rabbit at the very last moment.
That could have been it right there. In some timelines, that would have been it.
Most definitely.
Body blow.
Timelines. I get it.
Set him up. Oh, what a brain buster.
Oh god, I didn't even think about it
I
as a
didn't
pun.
mean it.
Oh, why? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, got a message from Robbie Slick that he's going to be coming in here in a moment. Here in about like 5-10 minutes apparently, so he can definitely get him in before Warzone starts. Probably as we're doing the call out. And going up, lifting up Matrix once more, out of time, right in the corner of the Time Bandits. Going in for that cover, 1, 2. Once again, broken up by Rabbit. Man,
Rabbit was spotting every finisher in this match, prepared to jump in and save his friend just when he needed to.
I will say, in that particular last interaction, the ref was actually the biggest obstacle.
How so?
You noticed that, you noticed that Thunder had to go around the ref in order to reach Rabbit going in for the save. It bought him vital seconds.
And then we have Not only do we have Matrix countering out of time into that beautiful DDT, but now Caliban throwing in a chair as a tool or a distraction. Who knows? I don't want to get into the mind of Dr. Caliban. I feel like I would not like what I see.
That is a dangerous place to be. Let's not do that.
Like, I've been to his house. It's magnificent, but I don't want to know what's in the mind of a mad scientist. And here we have the Heaven's Gate locked onto Sandman, but Sandman breaking for the rope immediately. That veteran status coming into play.
Elbow across the canvas. Sandman trying to do
Whipping Matrix right into the corner here. See, at this point, a lot of people would have been screaming out to Matrix to go back and make a tag. But the Time Bandits did not let up whatsoever, kind of putting this back into their advantage. Just shoving him right into the turnbuckle neck first. Ugh.
I'm also wondering if this might have been a deliberate decision by the Grand Equation, much like with Cool J Kyo earlier, where the more untested of the wrestlers is given more time to shine.
But
Could be the case.
But unfortunately, he was in there way too long. Taps out to Money or Your Life, and now the Time Bandits are the #1 contenders for the Mad Worlds' Tag Team Championships. And now here's something that I would that I'm posing as a question. What about the win from Apex against Mad World themselves? I mean, a lot of people would argue that would kind of lead them into getting a title shot themselves. Marty, what are some of your thoughts?
Well, while that would normally get them into the title shot scene, with how the #1 contender has just been named, I can't really see it being really going anywhere until after after the tag title match. Now, if the Mad World does manage to retain against the Time Bandits, we could very likely see Mizuki, and also assuming Mizuki does not take the belt from Victor, we could very well see Apex going for the tag belts, which wouldn't be their first time going for it.
And CG.
Apex going after gold? Oh, shock of all shocks. I mean, they were certainly trying to make a statement. No one can deny that. The question is this really the right time? I don't think it is.
And on that note, we move into our... What's that, Phyllis? Oh, yeah? He is? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple of things going on, actually. First thing is first, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome back Robbie Slick.
Buddy, how is it going?
And on the phone we have right now, ladies and gentlemen, one half of the #1 contenders. We have, representing the Time Bandits and House Caliban, we have the Sandman. Sandman, can you hear us?
Yeah, absolutely I can. Hello, gentlemen.
So, Sandman, how are you feeling right now?
A lot better. I'll admit, I've been in a bit of a rut as of late. But then at the start of the tag tournament, I finally realized what the hell was missing. I had no direction. But now, oh, that win, that felt so good.
And at least me personally speaking, we are happy to see you guys getting that opportunity once more. Does anybody have any questions for the for a potential champ in the making?
I have a question. If you manage to take the belts from the Mad World, what are your plans? What are your ambitions from that point on?
That's actually kind of a good question. I'm kind of focused on getting the belts first. Can't look too far ahead, because if so, you miss the present, and then all hell happens from there.
Fair enough.
You know, Actually, I got a question here for the glorious Sandman. My guy.
Ooh, I like that.
My guy.
Hello.
Been a huge fan of yours. A huge fan of the tag division in Flashbang. Just absolutely been amazing. But kind of following up on the previous question here. While I understand, like, it's a good thing to stay within the present, still there has to be some future ambition with if you manage to snag the tag belts. I mean, is there any potential is there any potential group that you would love to have take a shot at you if you manage to take the gold? I mean, come on. There's got to be something.
You say someone, I'd say many someones. First and foremost would be, as much as people probably are bored of seeing the two of us clash, the cartel. We still need to have that little bit of rubber match since we're still kind of tied up.
I mean,
and
fair
also,
enough.
Speaking of them, Hutch, I understand you have your little issues that I will not go into details on because you asked nicely. But if you win your match, please wait your goddamn turn. Thunder and I have been chasing these damn things for too long. We deserve first crack.
CG, hey CG, do you have anything to ask the Sandman here?
I do have a little bit of a question, though it's a little bit less around the Time Bandits themselves and more of House Caliban.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were having a discussion earlier about the situation with, I believe, Dragoon, certainly in that employ. I remember back when you and he had a bit of a tiff, bit of a spat, if you will.
That's putting it nicely.
How has him being there affected the dynamic of the Time Bandits and House Caliban?
It's improving. I still don't entirely trust him. He's a bit of a... Well, I want to say oddball, but... Well, we're in a show with lots of oddballs, so... He's a little more cryptic than I like, but... We're slowly beginning to trust each other. And he is damn good. I will not take that away from him.
My main question is, have you gotten past the point of him speaking in mostly riddles? Because that seems to be a kind of a hindrance if I was in this exact same group personally.
Again, we're improving. He's not talking in as many riddles, but he's still off.
Well, we still have a whole lot of show to go through. Sandman, do you have anything that you would like to tell the Firing Line audience before we are going to have to unfortunately disconnect this call?
Well, I kind of have two things. They're going to be real quick, I promise.
No, go.
The first is going to
right
be
ahead.
to the Mad World. If you don't bring your best, I'm going to be sorely disappointed. The second is to CG. When are you going to return those movies you borrowed from us? We kind of wanted to show a couple of things to Kang's kid.
Oh, as soon as we can find them buried somewhere in PM Ghost's room.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Listen, I have a sneaking suspicion it's in his mohawk. He really likes to hide his media there, but he's gotten so sensitive about that recently.
How?
Alright, well, let us know when you can. Kang would appreciate it. Anyways, you
I'll
gentlemen
try
have a
my
good
best.
day now.
All right.
Have a good one.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was the Sandman. And hey, CG, question for you: How do you hide something in his mohawk?
Have you seen the thing?
Yes, I have.
You
It
can hide
seems
a lion in there.
it seems flat enough to where it could just go right through. How? I don't understand.
Buddy, counterpoint. Trashman Jones's mohawk. I mean, come on.
Well, at least that's because of his half clown blood or something like that. I don't know.
Joe, my man, the answer is obvious. Ethereal portal.
We do have a lot of those at House Sonata.
That actually makes the most sense out of everything.
I mean, now we're thinking with portals here. Didn't think about that.
But before we get on to the rest of the show, we have our patented Flashbang Moment of the Week.
Into the corner. Tag made to Thunderbolt. And now body blow. Look out here. Could be in trouble. Oh, Matrix head first. Matrix dropped head first. With nowhere to go. And now your money of your life. Center of the ring. Thunderbolt trying to become #1 contenders. Matrix, and he's tapping out. The Time Bandits have done it. Thunderbolt with the clutch play. He made the tag first. And that was all she wrote. Here are your winners, a team of Sandman and Thunderbolt. And
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The #1 contenders are also the moment of the week, and which means that we have wrapped up Flashbang. Yay! And actually, kind of in record time too. Now that I'm looking at the time. Weird. Anyway, so. As we close Flashbang, we have the Trios tournament coming up later on tonight here in about 2.5 hours. And then we also have we have so much to go through when it comes to Flashbang. So,
Yeah, we do.
So, let's just go around the horn here. Robbie, you just came in. What are some of your thoughts about, what are some of your final thoughts about Flashbang?
Oh, where do I begin with Flashbang? Where do I begin? Look, I'm just going to say this right now. With everything that's been going on, how the tag teams have been heating up, the Trios belts going back up on the market again for another round to go after it, and, just the era of the cartel just beginning and everything else. I don't even know where to start. Seriously, we are talking uncharted waters, and I believe tonight is probably going to be an absolute blast.
CG, what are some of your final thoughts?
Not enough ghosts.
You know what? Fair enough, actually. Marty, what are some of your final thoughts?
I think we are beginning to enter a very dangerous territory. We now have new #1 contenders for the tag belts. We have a tournament coming up for the Trios belts. We have an announcement that is going to affect the roster entirely, which we will be talking about later with the C101. We still have a #1 contender in Mizuki and I guess Spike from the Bone Warriors. There is so much going on now in Flashbang. It is so hard to keep up with, but it is all incredibly exciting. We're in for a few hells of shows over the next few weeks.
Most definitely, but as we transition from Warzone to Flashbang, first we hear a word from our sponsor.
Hi there, I'm Mega Blitz X, former 2-time tag team champion and Big Oof champion, and spokesperson for the Omega Pub. We at Omega Club created the pub as a means of leaving the drama and workplace stress behind, so the wrestlers and staff can just sit back and relax, have a nice drink, and reinvigorate themselves for the next day. We've got your favorite brands of drinks from across the multiverse, karaoke nights on Fridays, and pay-per-view viewing parties. Now in our new mobile bar truck. But don't take my word for it. Here's some comments from our fellow wrestlers.
After a hard day in the ring, and an even harder day deciphering the eldritch hieroglyphs of someone's bank statement, Omega Pub is a calming place to visit. Even the bar fights are relaxing.
Sparrow here. I give Omega Pub an enthusiastic 2 super thumbs up for service and a friendly atmosphere, and great drinks made to order.
Take it from the 3-time, 2-time, 4-time champion of cracking back the creature. The Omega Pub serves the finest drinks.
Omega Pub, where the champions drink.
Hope you guys are doing good.
And hope you're doing good too, especially after especially after coming in late. But before we,
I know.
Yeah, you're fine. It's all good, man. But before we get into the Super Show proper, we have this week's episode of the Call-Outs. There's going to be an announcement after this episode coming up. Once this is said and done. But, ladies and gentlemen, our interviewer Travis sits down with Sage, the Omni Geek.
Hey guys, it's Travis from the Call Out. And this week, we're going into the hacker side of Flashbang. So, put on your hacker suit and strike your best hero pose. This week, we have the Omni Geek.
Hey, thanks, Travis. Good to finally be here.
So, Omni Geek, welcome to the show. But I have to ask you something. What exactly is an Omni Geek?
What is an Omni Geek? Well, to save the extended origin story, that's me. Mostly just a guy whose intellectual pursuits or geekery span numerous directions, genres, and subjects, who saw injustices and decided to follow the heroes of my childhood, use the tools and the talents that I have to fight and help the overlooked people of San Pancho, my hometown, and later found myself among people with a similar ideal, like El Cholo Espiritu, the Jack, Redline, or as we call ourselves, the part-time heroes. Fast forward probably close to a year, and on a case involving some pretty sketchy tech, found myself falling through a portal into the Nexus, and one of the first people I ran into happened to be Mr. Rabbit, and well, the rest is history.
Part-time heroes, full-time action. So, Omni, you're an established member of the roster, able to go toe-to-toe with some of the top members of Flashbang. Do you see yourself aiming for a specific goal while you're here on the roster, or are you just looking for that next fight?
I don't know about one specific goal. Just like back at home, I do want to help keep the seedy, corrupt elements in check, sometimes from the inside. Though, the lucha side of me does love a challenge, and I'll admit the interdimensional title does check off both of those boxes. But Brawl Kaiser's a good champion, and a friend, so for now I'll just keep cheering him on his run.
Well, I'm certainly glad you've made friends with Brawl Kaiser and are willing to cheer him on. You've made it clear who your friends and allies are, and who your enemies are. What are your thoughts on the recent world champion Victor Vicious and his faction, the Cartel?
I did comment on it after Breakdown 7, but to expand, well, to be honest, it's been pretty tough. The Cartel showed the power I thought they could, and took the top spots in Flashbang, maybe even the whole Nexus. And my efforts so far haven't slowed them down. And some issues elsewhere are adding to the frustration. But for now, best I can do is keep probing and hounding. Eventually that firewall is going to crack. And when it does, they're going to feel it.
Well, computer imagery aside, you've been so successful with investigations and hacking into mainframes. Would you want to join forces with the likes of APS or Papusa Monkey?
Joining forces? Yeah, I've worked alongside Seth Jackson on the PM Ghost case, and consulted for Davis on tech issues. But our wheelhouses are kind of on opposite sides of the die. APS deals with eldritch and supernatural stuff, and cyberspace and tech are my specialty. And Papusa? Well, aside from the whole Warzone, Flashbang, Forbidden Door that I could probably easily lockpick, to be honest, it'd probably feel like Batman teaming up with Detective Bullock. Sure, same side, but I don't know if he's ready to trust a vigilante.
To be fair, Omni, you're about 2 or 3 steps away from owning your own Batcave. There has been one particular wrestler that I would dare even say a rival to you, that being Lionel Matrix. What are your thoughts on his activities and his recent events with the Grand Equation?
I don't know if I'd call Matrix a proper rival. Yeah, we did that back and forth leading up to Multivania, but that ultimately was just a case of mistaken identity, one he still hasn't let me live down.
Well, those are grudges for you. Is there any personal goals in the near future, or somebody you're just looking forward to stepping into the ring with?
Well, I am still working to take the cartel down a notch or two, and going after Victor again will put me in Nitzig sights this time. Maybe even Mad World. Could be fun. Getting another shot at Satyrus, though, that's an exciting prospect. Like I said before, that lucha side of me just loves the idea of a challenge. Well, I could also name a few on Warzone side I wouldn't mind testing my metal against, like Mega Blitz or Glyceris, for example. Closest I'd say probably be Hutch, mostly because he's the only one I've really had words with much lately, and have had more than one match with. And maybe a little because I may have had an obsession with the galaxy far, far away. And since we are 1-1 right now, I don't think either of us is going to want to let that tie lay fallow for long. Maybe after our personal businesses are done.
That would be really cool to see. A standoff of the Mandalorian versus the Omni-Geek. Are there any closing thoughts as we wind down the evening for the Firing Line audience?
If you think dark and selfish acts are safe in the shadows, your secrets can't hide from my vision. And to those taken advantage of who feel anonymous, look up and to the net and believe the unbelievable.
Omni-Geek! I was joking about the Batman stuff. Now I've got a hole in my roof. Comic book. Well, at least he left me something. Oh. I better bring this to Joe and Slick. Oh, okay, Omni. Message sent. And if you want to see more of the Omni-Geek, tune in on Fridays for Friday Night Flashbang with Edward Bosco. My name is Travis, and have a good night.
Yeah! Thank you, Travis and OmniGeek. And, so, because of that, so, kind of a heads up, for the next month, unfortunately speaking, Travis is not going to be able to produce the call-out for until the new year, because mostly about the literal hole in the roof. Never happened when I was there. And, well, as well as a few other, let's just say issues that we don't really want to be getting into at this current juncture. So we do have, if anybody in our production team wants to take a stab at it, or kind of step up, so to speak, please send me a message directly, and we can get you guys squared away. I
really hope we have insurance. I really, really hope we have insurance, because that whole...
Yeah. That, the good news is, it looks like it was connected to the vents in some way, shape, or form, so Anon has to be on it.
Oh god, not the vents, not the vents. I've already gotten done just filling out paperwork with Anon again. He didn't even message me, he just grabbed me, pulled me into the vents. All because I needed to fill out paperwork for a parking spot.
That's some very suspicious behavior right there.
I mean, all you gotta do is just shove the paperwork in a vent and he just takes it. It's not as weird as people think.
Man. I saw things.
Though, if we do really need to fix that hole, assuming Craftworks should probably be able to handle it, I imagine.
Oh, I'm certain that he's already on it. He's already got a work order. But until then, we have a whole super show to go through, ladies and gentlemen. And my God, was it? It was a fantastic show. It was hard to going into trying to find a moment of the week was really, really hard. But I think we found it. I think we found one that everyone's going to enjoy. But before we get into that, we have the match between the janitor versus the storyteller. Mysterious freaking aura that the storyteller can produce.
Here he is with our first
If
match.
the janitor wins, he gets a few of his questions answered.
No one knows what his end
And
is.
I don't know.
Helped the murder kid.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The storyteller really creeps me out.
We're off. Oh.
And
Yeah.
immediately the janitor.
Yeah.
starting off
Especially
with a
knowing that
facebuster.
this guy,
Absolutely.
knowing the crowds he's run with.
slamming the face of Storyteller
Yeah,
onto the
I think I would rather, you know,
He knows
I'd rather
this man.
deal
They
with I'd rather deal with the Minotaurs in an
Always
alley
pulling
than
the strings.
Storyteller in an alley.
He
And
is
if you go
just
first
the
time
idea.
run in
one,
some interesting
and just
circles, hasn't he?
And all I know is that
Oh.
old
Something written for our friend the janitor.
When the dead
Something.
ghost
Oh,
gets
and-
goosebumps, you know something
Ooh.
is amiss.
Up and over, kick to the
Oh,
back
yeah.
of the head.
That's wait.
And
Really?
Two amazing workers here. Oh, that
Oh yeah,
Hurricane Rana
it's
and
very
tying him
rare,
up in the
but
ropes.
when it happens,
straight into the ropes here.
that's a sure
Oh!
sign to get out of
Storyteller's
town.
showing
I just like that
and,
you
the
specified
janitor
dead
is
ghosts,
getting his
implying
keeping
that
his
there are
momentum,
alive
really.
ghosts.
Yeah, if you
I mean,
notice,
what is a
slammed
person
to
but
the
a living
back of the
ghost?
head onto the rope really got to Storyteller.
Actually,
Listen,
there.
I didn't go. I'm not a
Check out,
philosophy major. I don't go into
Facebuster,
these little
Everybody
nitty
with
gritties.
faculties. See if we can.
And here we
buff
have the
the
janitor
pin.
That
going
was-
for a
I
very
don't
sloppy
know if you saw,
pin,
it
but
was
it
just
looked
a
like
pin.
that
They
he
were
and
talking to
Storyteller
each
were
other.
having a conversation
They were
during the match,
absolutely
and
not
again,
accepting
just
to each other.
really pressing the issue into his stomach there.
That is
You know,
again,
sometimes you just
the
gotta follow
janitor
your
is
gut
trying
feeling
to
on these
figure out
things.
what the storyteller is up to.
And then apparently flex.
Boo.
The storyteller
Oh, come on, dude.
has an agenda.
That actually was
don't
good.
know
Come
yet.
now. Come now. But
he-
I'll tell you what
and
isn't
now
going to be
he's
good.
just-
The fact that,
Oh, what was-
Storyteller here is just, laying it out on the janitor. Just,
And
woo.
Up.
That was a
and
very
so
unfortunate
close.
time to taunt their
There's an
storyteller.
agenda here. I don't know that
Yeah,
either
well, he
man
made up
is
for it
as
by that high
interested
kick
in
to the
winning
face.
the match as winning the,
Well,
the chess game they're
Yeah,
playing.
it's much like Aldini here mentioned to
words they're having
Michael
in
Montoya.
between, even
This felt like more of a mental
that
game
hold,
than a physical wrestling
Speaking
match.
to each other, it's
It's pretty much like as if they were
It's almost
playing the
like
exact
they're
same
playing with
game.
each other.
It's
but-
almost like the wrestling moves are just something to fill the space.
I don't know. It just felt. It didn't feel like a traditional
And one,
wrestling match at that point. It just
two,
felt
and
like
a
a
kick out by the
mental
janitor.
kind of thing
He's
going
not
on.
gonna
Something
take
tells
this
me, Jay.
garbage.
Chess game being
Something
played.
tells me, Jerry,
Yes.
this is not over here on Thanksgiving.
Noted.
Oh, I think
Noted.
Whatever happens in this match.
I think this is just the beginning. This is
But
just
then we got,
fan, Robbie.
what's up?
Are you a big chest fan, Robbie?
No, chess is for nerds, and I am not a nerd. I drive a Jag, you see.
Yeah, how is that, by the way?
Currently in the shop, because, you know, fire.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, well, look, getting back to the things at hand that are important, just look at the janitor, just absolutely soaking it in. I mean, yeah, there's definitely that conversation going on between these two, but, you know, then you can see where the conversation starts to dry up, and, you know, actions start speaking louder than words here.
See, I think that it was mostly the janitor feeling like his old self again. Because, yeah, a lot of people loved Nobunaga, but he hasn't felt like being that shining emperor for a while now. I think he's actually starting to, like, get back into the old swing of things.
He wanted to come in at the bottom as a rookie. That's why he's going with his current nom de plume. And I think he's almost enjoying that climb back up to where he was. You can see as he's fighting Storyteller, Storyteller has almost no emotion in this match. Par for the course with Storyteller. But Janitor, oh, Janitor, you can see every emotion going through that face during this entire fight.
Most definitely. Like, maybe it's like that going into a rags, into the prince becoming the pauper kind of deal.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, let's be honest here. If you, considering how far up, how the tops, the peaks that the janitor once held, that Nobunaga once was at, and only to be brought as low, and that steady climb back up. I mean, I'd say it's a lesson, kind of a lesson with humility, and just, you know, like, hey, stay humble, stay to the ground, and eventually you'll rise back up to the top.
Vicious knee strike right on the barricade. Oh my god.
What are they saying?
And now he's
That hurt.
And now he's flexing on him.
Right hand to the face of the janitor.
Now we have storyteller here. Now we have storyteller here just addressing everybody else. I think kind of mentioning, is this your hero or something like that. Trying to bait the janitor into getting sloppy.
Do you think you just
Is
told
this
the man
your
how he's
king,
gonna die?
if you will?
Yeah,
It seems
something like that.
something you would do. And now he's outside of the ring, it seems.
Just-
Oh, no, storyteller. Sending the janitor back
I
in.
understand the the benefits of mind games here, but there is such a thing as too much psychological warfare.
Storyteller has certainly done a lot of speaking in this match, to say the least.
Devastating pain there, Michael.
Yeah, well,
He certainly takes his time whenever he has the advantage.
there's an old phrase of if you always try to plan 8 steps ahead, you could be nervous about what if you missed a certain step. And that's probably what the janitor's trying to exploit. And trying to I guess he's feeling glorious at that point. Clothesline after clothesline after another.
Hey, it's just got him up against the ropes in the corner and just going straight for that mid.
Regional difference a little frustrated.
Or maybe not.
I guess Storyteller trying to taunt the same motion as the janitor, quickly dodging out of the way, going into that backbreaker position. Oh, knee straight to the lower back. Ugh.
No, he's gonna feel that in the morning.
I can already feel my chiropractor just screaming in pain.
Now what's he setting up?
Yeah, my massage
On that
therapist.
note, I need to call my chiropractor.
I need to call my massage
Near the end
therapist.
of the road here. Last page.
If I can recommend, there's actually a nice place about 3 blocks down the road. Actually pretty good. Fixed me up quite nicely when I was having a little bit of trouble.
I miss having bones.
He wanted the janitor to see it coming.
I am so sorry.
That was incredibly insensitive. We are
What-
so sorry.
Yeah, we should realize we should check our skeletal privilege.
Listen, I'm not going to make a fuss, but I am going to be a little sad.
Well, as we were speaking, janitor, glorious DDT, square in the middle of the ring, gets the pinfall over the storyteller, and doing that same jig, feeling absolutely glorious.
Goodness gracious. I foresee some very, very beautiful things coming soon. I definitely can feel it in my gut.
Marty, what are some of your thoughts on the match?
It was an incredible showing, and both combatants did well. I don't know where they're both going to go from here, but I'm excited to see what happens.
And CG, what are some of your thoughts?
Well, storytellers seem to be trying to make more of a statement than actually trying to win, whereas Probunaga, he just went at it. Part of me is wondering if that's part of the plan going forward, or if this loss wasn't even really a big deal for the storyteller. It's hard to read that individual.
Yeah, he says that everything is according to a certain a storyline, so to speak. Everything falls into that. It's like he's predicting the future or something like that, even though he would probably suggest otherwise. But as we are going to be progressing here into the Big Oof title match between Da Funk, leader of Cloud9, which is apparently a group. Yay! He tried to recruit Nagano, but that didn't really pan out. And the champion, the man with the heavenly voice, Raphael Sampson, representing the O-Lods. And it's for that right there, the Big Oof Championship. A belt that's pretty much signifies, like, the bigger personalities on Warzone. And I got a note from Phyllis. I can't believe I'm saying this, but JC. Why, Phyllis? I don't get the joke. She's weird, man.
I'll
You
get
leave
another.
Phyllis alone. She made me a beautiful banana nut roll.
Are there
She pulled me out from Nitzig trying to start another hall brawl on my way here.
Okay, I'll put more respect onto Phyllis's name.
You put some respect on that name.
I will do
but
so.
I'll tell you what's not getting respected is just Raphael Sampson just getting absolutely torn into. I have never seen Defunct get this aggressive.
Defunct knows he has to go in as hard as possible against someone of Raphael Sampson's caliber. He can't afford to joke around or hold back at all.
He's also been mentioning something about the teachings of the Great Bull. What that means, who knows?
Like a bowl, like a serving dish?
A bull like an animal?
A bull like the MVP is what people are speculating.
The MVP. Man, it's been a long time since somebody since anybody heard Blaster off of him. What, isn't he retired or something?
Retired, sitting on a pile of cash, probably.
I believe he came out and addressed the audience at the last C101 about his retirement.
I believe that it was before. I believe it was before the pandemic. If I'm being completely honest, I think it was like back in 2019. So, been almost 2 years since we've been in the post Bosco era.
And yet we're still feeling the effects. And speaking of effects, we're about to see the effects of what happens when you go against one of the all-odds in the ring. And as you can clearly see, Raphael Sampson, judge, jury, and, well, definitely not the executioner right now because he's nearly getting pinned.
Defunct is definitely showing that aggression in full force, just retching on the arm of Raphael. And we have a message approved by VIP. The MVP name, as well as the bull, and reciting his name is copywritten by VIP. What? Be in touch. We'll be in touch. Praise to Ausir. Okay, we're gonna kind of have to have our lawyers on there. Hang on, I'm texting Gorwheel as we speak.
Oh god, why do you gotta text that guy?
He's legal. He's
Yeah, but
our
at
legal
the-
department. I gotta text
Every
him.
time he walks around, I cough up blood.
I have to say this to VIP. That's some bullshit.
I get it.
Of all the days I forget my drum set.
It took me a minute. That one took me a minute. I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate the thinking game.
Yes, well, in the meantime, let's bite down on the bull and watch how Defunct is just taking it to Raphael Sampson. Seriously, Raph, fight back! I know, like, you and Defunct are buddies, but come on!
Well, I think it's because...
Oh, I wouldn't...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I wouldn't count Raphael Sampson out. A man like that can weather more than what Defunct is throwing at him right now.
I mean, point taken. I mean, we just saw him get out of what I would assume would be the wiggle, and that move is a dangerous move.
It is the most devastating submission that we have in the entire Nexus. Like, you get locked into there, it's 9 times out of 10 you are tapping out.
Makes you really think about what would happen if you put Defunct, Azir, and the Doctor of Albenomics in a submission-only match. Who really comes out on top?
Probably us here, because the Albenomics would probably work on Defunct, where us here would probably just pick up anytime Funk gets himself free from Alba.
Yeah, point taken, point taken.
He is cunning like that.
Yes. In the meantime, put him in the chip, making him humble. But can you really make one of the most humble men on the planet even more humble in the camel clutch? Because I say no.
floating over right behind him and just dropping him on his knees, stomach first, and then a splash. Shades of his tag partner, Sasquatch Wing. Going in for a 3 count. Your winner, ladies and gentlemen, getting right out of the wiggle as well, Raphael Sampson.
That was a good win for Samson as well.
Oh,
That's going to look very good for the future.
Here's what doesn't look good, though. This chair shot coming in 5, 4,
What are you
3,
talking about? I don't
2.
see anything going on. Oh my god! What the hell?
It wasn't a chair shot. It was a belt. It was a belt shot, and I.
Going after the ref? Defunk, no! Why?
Remember when I mentioned about the path of the bull and how it was connected to Bosco in a way?
Yeah.
This is a Bosco move.
Throw a temper tantrum out? They're losing? Come on, Defunk, you're better than this.
Defunct's not going to take off his helmet and just be Bosco underneath, is he?
God, I hope
I
not.
remember immediately after that match, hashtag #DaFallen was immediately trending on Twitter.
Wait, that's why that hashtag was trending? I just thought it was because somebody fell.
No.
Like, literally.
No. We wish.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy about what's going to be going on with Funk in the future, and especially with this whole Cloud9 business. I mean, he pretty much stated that he was going to be running a cult in front of Raphael Sampson of all people, straight to his face. Like, if that's not boldness, I don't know what is.
Boldness, I'd say that's, well, foolishness, but, dark days are ahead if one of our best can fall as hard.
Yeah, I'm sorry, CG, go ahead.
And we already have a fallen angel on the roster. If you see Defunk fall even further, maybe they'll hook up. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, Nakano Kirishima was positioned to be one of Defunct's first followers, but then the dastardly Uncle Dunk came right from under Funk, promising not only the exact same thing that Funk was promising Kirishima, but adding on his vast wealth onto it. I mean, endless resources, steady fat paycheck. It's hard to argue against it, but it felt like he got robbed in a way.
Perhaps this is just a bit of anger on his front. He may have felt like his endeavor just collapsed in front of his eyes.
Well, speaking of... Well, before we get into collapsing endeavors, Marty, do you have any final thoughts?
I feel bad for Funk's spine after that splash. As well as, I guess, both spines and the ref.
Yeah.
The ref.
Poor ref.
Well, thanks to...
Hashtag #DaFallen.
Yeah, thanks to Lacta technology, as well as our refs effectively being immortal while they're in the arena, where it's not as bad as it would have been, especially with numerous extra-dimensional people, especially our lawyer with his radioactive aura, so to speak. But anyway, we are moving on to Kane and XR Kun taking on Legion, with Kane getting a little bit of revenge against the inevitable betrayers of Legion here, especially because they sent out 2 of the would-be backstabbers. Well, the obvious backstabbers in Louis McDonald and Earl King West. Talking about self-serving individuals, ladies and gentlemen, Louis McDonald.
Quite a ballsy move here. But at the same time, I mean, like, you know, as much as I hate to say it, it really is weird to say this, but I think this was actually a perfect counterbalance for Louis and Earl King, because let's be real. Yeah, we both are. We're all trying to figure out who's gonna stab who in the back first, but maybe it's the fact that they both understand, like, just who each other really is, and because of that, you know, that's why they're hesitant to backstab, because they know something will happen quickly, so to speak.
So you're suggesting that it could be like a mind game for the both of them as well, where instead of trying to figure out, okay, when are they going to backstab me, have plans in case of being backstabbed or betrayed
mutually
in that kind
assured
of way.
destruction, so to speak. Mutually assured destruction.
It sounds like another game of 4D chess.
Yeah, but a game of 4D chess against someone who you are calling a teammate or a partner, and then here we have Evolution right out the gate. I mean, we're not even 5 minutes into this match, dragging XR right into the corner of Legion, going for a pinfall and kicks out right at 2. Louis realizing he can't end this as quickly as he thinks. I mean, XR went 45 minutes with Dagger Rake last year, and that was one of the matches of the year for Warzone. So it's going to take a lot more than just a finishing move just to put him down.
Well, you know what that move did?
Agreed.
It got them both into the corner of Louis McDonald's, into the corner of Legion.
Now here's the thing.
There we go.
Kane has a lot of pent-up rage. He's honestly always had a lot of pent-up rage. And the emotions of Legion have always been plain as day. I don't think anyone is pleased about this fight except for XR Kun. XR Kun, I believe, has just been sitting back and just enjoying the fireworks. And there's something to be said about that sort of person.
Well, if I remember correctly about how Sith work, they feed off of like that rage and anger. And I mean, to your point, if Kane has literally nothing but aggression inside of him, that would kind of prime him as a perfect apprentice for well, those of the Sith following.
That's scary thought.
Yeah, a little bit actually. I'm just imagining Kane with a lightsaber. Not gonna lie, that's a cool image.
Maybe he'll make maybe he'll have red lightsaber accents on his costume when he comes out next time.
Do you think he would have like 8,602 lightsaber techniques?
You know, I'd believe it.
Be like one of those,
second that.
being one of those like from the prequel movies, like the choreography kind of based attacks and whatnot. And trying to go for 302, but gets countered out by Earl King, who also has a form of spear himself, knows exactly when that's coming and how to counter it.
Say what you want. Earl King definitely knows his stuff, and yeah, I give credit where credit's due to Kane. Mastered, you know, over 8,000 moves, correct?
8,602 to be exact.
Alright, so he's mastered 8,602, but how many has he truly mastered? You could be someone that knows 8,602 moves, but you can fight off and somebody who has only known one move, and they've mastered that technique to perfection.
Kane has been a master of 8,602 moves before being introduced to Sith ways. Now, he's going to simply learn more.
Well, he does appear to be like one of those people that seem to be like a student of, I guess, the multiverse or the realm. He's always learning something. He's always trying to better himself, and especially with like previous grudges against Louis McDonald and Earl King. I mean, might as well add Trice to that list as well, and as well as that still ongoing hatred of his for Dr. Grimm. and the rest of the Murder Cave. I mean, his hatred of the Murder Cave, Exar's hatred of Grizzly in the Murder Cave as well. This is only the beginning.
You know, it's funny you mention that. Where is Trice? He's not out there with his comrades. And that's kind of worrisome.
I mean, I figured he was training or something.
I don't know, man.
I don't like to think about it.
Front chancery not finding purchase.
That's the unfortunate thing about a group like Legion. You always have to be thinking about it, or they're going to catch you by surprise.
They are a cunning lot.
Yeah.
They are a cunning group of individuals that no one should be taking lightly. With two masterminds on their side and the overall brutality that Trice can dish out, it's a deadly combination of it's a deadly force of three.
You could say it's a deadly alliance.
I feel like we're gonna get copyright strike for that one.
What are you talking about?
I don't know why. I just feel the lawyer's coming, and not Lawson, and not just Lawson.
Well, speaking of things coming into fruition, let's talk here about the absolute brutality that is occurring to Exar. I mean, he's getting a beatdown worse than I think he got from Grim. And Grim took an eye.
Yeah. That, well, when you're going up against somebody like Louis McDonald, as well as going up against a Fey King and Wrath of the Goblin King, Kane coming right into it to break up the pin. He could sense that move coming in.
In and slams hard. Just, you know, I give credit where credit's due, and I'm rooting for Kane out of this. I don't think it's a great situation for the kid to be in, especially considering the fact that the company he's with is dubious at best, considering Exar's long history with certain groups. But better it be the lesser of two evils.
At the very least, the lesser of two evils that's promising not only to train you in his ways, but just, I guess, becoming a better mentor-like figure than just a gang of thugs.
Yeah. Not only that, I mean, like, let's be honest. If a guy that you knew was a former heavyweight world champion offered you the chance to learn every last, you know, ability he knew and even more, would you really pass up on that offer?
Not particularly. Then we got Hearn's charge from Earl King West. Now looks like he's getting draped on the ropes. Classic Kane, delivering right onto Earl King's face. I think he got busted open during this match. I can't remember. He did not.
No, but Exar got busted open for about 3 people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I see him in the corner. He's the Crimson Mask is definitely being donned onto the Sith Lord.
I'd argue that's his natural state. He always takes such a beating, yet gives it out in return.
Yeah, I can see that.
Then gets the force pumping like blood loss, so to say.
Well, they are known to be fans of the color red.
And
yeah, red, black.
Oh, come on.
A lot of red and black in this arena currently.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, apologies for the...
Louis McDonald clashing with everything else.
Apologies for the feed, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what was going on with the buffering on that one.
I smell fake fuckery.
Probably. Wrath of the Goblin King. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, especially considering the fact with this kind of match. I mean, just look at Earl King. He's just gloating at this point.
That's pretty much how he talks 90% of the time, though. If he's not gloating, if he's not gloating, he's like vaguely threatening somebody.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
At least it seems like his actions can back up his words. That is one thing that Earl King West has that not a lot of people in this business have. A lot of bark and a lot of bite.
Most definitely. He, and looks like, looks like Kane snuck out a victory on the Fake King himself.
Hallelujah.
That one bit of revenge being settled. And your winners, Kane and Exarchun. Name pending, probably. So, final thoughts on that match, Robbie?
Like I said, I'm rooting for Kane here. Again, he's in a situation that, personally, me speaking, I would rather not be in, but again, considering the options you got there, the company you're keeping, and yeah, as said before, which, if you're gonna learn from anybody, learn from the guy who was a former heavyweight world champion and has literally gone toe-to-toe against some of the most dangerous people. Not to say anything against Louis and Trice and Earl King West, but, I mean, let's be real. Exar, he's kind of in his own league.
Yeah, I mean, to your points, former heavyweight champion, former hardcore champion, I believe a former tag champion as well. I could be wrong on that one. But, CG, what are some of your thoughts?
Well, we've brought up a few times before about the experienced veteran and rookie. And in this instance, in most of the instances prior, well, I suppose trainee in this particular relationship, but the less experienced one was left out to kind of fend for themselves. And in this instance, surprisingly, the mentor, or the one with the more experience, had their back. You'll notice at the end, when Kane got the pin, that XR was interfering heavily with Louis McDonald. And that was how they were able to get that win, it wasn't entirely Kane. There's actual partnership here, more than just, are you going to grow into and fill my shoes to reach partnership. That's why this might have some lasting potential.
And Marty.
Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, make sure to hold on to your Padawans, because Kane is coming.
I hate that thought. I hate that thought. And we're going to move on to the next match, where we were talking about the 45-minute slobber knocker that was Daggerick versus Exarchun. Here we have, well, a definition of fire meets ice. The French Daredevil, laid higher rolled, going up against the Dagger, the hardcore champion, Daggerick. And Daggerick this entire match was trying to get Laid to pretty much get what he thinks is hardcore, just to feel that fiery passion deep inside of him and just let it all out. Where Laid thought there's tranquility in brutality. And let's see if that.
You say fire, not.
Sorry, go ahead.
You say fire and ice, I say sugar and spice. Daggerick, as you said, has been trying to goad more of a reaction out of Highrold. Highrold is one of the most polite individuals in the business. He can throw out haymakers and hellos at the same time. Daggerick was fighting an uphill battle looking for that hardcore that he might be used to.
I mean, points.
And here we have a bit of a brawl on the outside. Daggerick throwing Laid right back in. Swift kick to the gut, just taunting him the entire time, telling him, "Come on, get angry. I want to see your war face."
You know, I don't believe the closest you're ever gonna get to ever getting Laid high rolled angry is if you have to do some real despicable garbage acts in front of him, and even then I don't think he's ever gonna go off on you the same way like Daggerick would. So, as everybody says, fire meets well, fire meets ice, sugar meets spice. Forgive, hiccups have been killing me recently, thanks to the burritos. But, I mean, I would say this is more along the lines of a match between Temper meets, well, Tempest meets Temperament, so to speak.
I can definitely see that. The ripcord clothesline straight to Daggeric's throat. Going for a count, kicks out at 1. This man has been toughing up just to hold, just to. Dageric himself has been toughing himself up just to even retain the Hardcore Championship. I mean, and much like Lade probably figured out, you're going to need a lot more, and what he found was a ladder.
The ladder. One of the most feared weapons in all of the universe.
Yeah, second most to a chair. And just pummeling Dageric straight to his dome. I guess he's also trying to get him to get a little bit more creative, especially with the last match with TJ the Mint Gable. That frickin' in-ring senton straight through the table.
Oh, yeah. I'm still reeling back from that match. And the fact that it gets followed up by a match like this, I mean...
See, whew. Little did these guys know that they were pretty much telling a story as they were fighting, and frankly speaking, I love those fights more than just senseless brawls. Picking out a bat from under the ring. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I agree completely. The fact of the matter is just that whether they realize it or not, we are seeing literally nature in its primal form being brought out here. The storm that rages versus the absolute serenity. It's basically like, honestly, if I were to make a comparison between here, it's like an ocean. The mood changing back and forth with the tides. The tides of Dageric just being a thrashing storm, whereas for Late High Rolled, I mean, it's smooth sailing, cool as a cucumber, like, you know, taking the boat out on a nice sunny Sunday day. Go fishing.
That does sound nice.
It does. It really does.
And setting up the ladder. Bringing in a chair, now bringing in a ladder. I think we have a match type that's got these things in him too. But Dagger bringing out a kendo stick.
Aha! Kendo stick! Finally got bingo!
You've been playing bingo this entire time?
But don't you?
I'm working. So, no, unfortunately.
You get hit in that area, your eyes are
and looks like
I'm sorry, was that unprofessional?
Well, not. Well, you're a guest, so technically no.
The curse of the table, the curse of he who says.
And it looks like we had Lade set up a table on the outside corner. Looks like Dageric wants to get a little bit more elevation. Going to the top of the ladder, back in the ring. Splash right onto Lade High on the outside.
I saw his spirit leave his body for a moment there.
And the crowd at this point chanting, "Holy shit! Holy shit!"
And then just
leave amongst other things.
Oh yeah, and just the fight between these two with Dageric using a hammer, which, let's face it, in the hands of a dwarf, is probably the most terrifying thing you can imagine.
And as we can see here, that last shot, that table, that splash onto the table, that brought out something in Lade here. He's angry. This is what Dageric has been wanting the entire time, and by God did he get it.
Yep, and then we see one of a few incidents where these two actually go ape on an elevated plane like this ladder. Dageric just...
Don't say ape. Revolos will get mad.
Oh, shit.
It's for your own protection.
that elbow drop being missed straight into that headbutt from the Daredevil. Oh man, he is he is definitely feeling it. He's definitely feeling what it is to be hardcore.
Oh man,
And then that brutal mushroom stomp. Everyone forgets how freaking high that Dagger can jump.
yeah, and
They
then
should
we
name a shoe after him.
You know, we should definitely try to get him a shoe deal.
Patent that.
Oh! Stomp from the top of the ladder straight to the chest. If that doesn't cave
That's
it,
how you kill a man.
like the fact that Lade is moving right now, my God, just shows how tough and resilient he can be. Fuck.
I mean, you're talking about a meteoric impact from Daggerick, because, fun little science fact here, kids. Just because Daggerick is a smaller entity does not make him any less of a harder object to fall on top of you. In fact, smaller objects going at faster speeds usually hit twice as hard as larger objects.
And then we saw Lade trying to Pillmanize Daggerick's Lade, owing to deliver an elbow straight to Daggerick's dome. Daggerick, who is already busted and bleeding, not only in his face, but also in the square middle of his chest. Hurricane Rana delivered right into the middle of the ropes.
Boy.
Dagger picking up that chair again. Going for a hefty strike, but high rolled again, saying no.
I will not bow. I will be unbroken. That is the literal spirit of Lade High Roll. And Daggerick, honestly, like, just looking at him, at times I could have swore I caught a smirk from his face. Like, he was just happy. Like, this was, like, for once, Daggerick was just in something that he could full-on enjoy without having to, you know, be too upset.
Well, Daggerick, I mean, he got what he wanted. He wanted to get that anger out of Lade. I don't blame him for getting exactly what he needed.
True. True.
I think this is the Book of
CG, you were saying?
Further to note, Daggerick is well known to have a book of grudges. I very much doubt that Hyrule is among that list of grudges. He might be happy just to have a fight without that sort of thing to hang over his head as something he needs to do.
Dwarven Driver, 1, 2, Daggerick retains the Warp Gate Hardcore Championship. And
Arguably his toughest opponent yet.
oh, most definitely.
Most certainly. That was an absolute... I mean, just look at how much blood was drawn from these two. Daggerick looks like he's... I mean, it looks like he has a hole in his chest just from the beating.
Look at him in the recording. He's literally stunned at the fact that the match is not only over, but the fact that he retains the belt.
This speaks volumes. I mean, it speaks volumes for both of these competitors. For Lade, it shows that he's got the fire, he's got the passion, and hell hath no fury like a high-rolled scorn. And it just makes you think, well...
Have we gotten that?
Oh yeah, no, I've already got... it's already trending on Twitter. You kidding me?
I believe there's an existing phrase that might be appropriate. The devil fears when a good man goes to war.
Definitely something to keep in mind with that. But it does raise the question, if Lade can't get the job done, what's it gonna take to put the dagger back in a sheath?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to know that answer. As of outside of, the production truck and everything, I have been enjoying Daggerick's run as, his current run as the hardcore champion. Personally speaking, I would really like to see him hold on to that title for a little bit longer, especially trying to beat out Ausseers' old record.
How long is that record again?
It was several months, of back-to-back matches.
Man.
Yeah.
I'd have to...
Some serious record holding.
I'd have to confirm with Carla, but if I remember correctly, Aussier definitely still holds the record for the longest run of that hardcore championship. But until then, not only did that match send a message, but This next match, oh, there's no easy way to say this, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Allfather's Gauntlet. The Gatekeeper Arkhov, pretty much with his the most menacing aura in the whole Nexus, going up against 8 competitors. First being Buck Bumble, one of the newer people.
Viva la raza!
Exactly. And a lot of people would say that the first position is the hardest. But Buck is definitely trying to prove them wrong. I mean, you don't
I'd argue that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was about to say, I'd argue that Buck, just showcasing his skills and how long it took for Buck to actually get eliminated. I mean, I think Arkhov found a worthy opponent right there, and that was just challenger number 1.
Truth be told, I would say that against Arkhov, none of the spots are particularly better than any other.
Yeah, everyone is.
I would agree.
I would agree as well. Everyone is the same in the eye of the Allfather. I'd say eyes, but he only has the one.
Not many men would accept the terms of what exactly went on in this match. Going up against multiple competitors back to back in a row. That takes some guts. And you can tell that the Allfather was, beside underneath that stoic expression he's got, he had to have been grinning the entire time.
It's hard to tell under that beard, but yeah, he would have had to. And also, fun fact about this match, Buck was not one of the shorter runs in this entire match.
No, he was not.
No, he was probably one of the longest.
If I remember correctly,
that's just him alone in the ring with Arkhov. Considering the amount of damage done between the two of them, arguably, I say Buck was probably the closest, just in terms of singular wrestlers, to actually, get the Allfather himself to practically go down.
Apparently, we got a message from somebody who works in our social media department, Calypso. They said 6 minutes and 28 seconds was Bucks's run.
Wait, it was over 5 minutes?
Yes.
God. Pardon me, I need to make a phone call. I think I'm about to win about $20,000.
And you're not sharing. Anyway, so get into the second camel clutch. Getting dropped on with a stinger straight to the chest of the Allfather. He's feeling it. He's feeling the he fly, he beast, he sting energy from the crowd. The Latino B is not one to mess with. I'm also surprised Buck was actually in the match itself. Buck's been around for like about a year now. I mean, he even was in a tag. He was even in a tag team with Cat, with Bumblebee Tuna.
Yeah, what happened with that exactly?
Cat went on it. I think Cat took a nap, and then Buck was like, "But I still want to wrestle."
Buck was also gone for a while, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they probably didn't want to continue as a tag team after that. I mean, trying to pursue personal goals.
I mean, have you tried to wake up a cat?
Yes, I have 3. I've tried.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Imagine doing that, but with a cat like Script Daddy.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's hard to get one cat awake, but 20 cats in a man costume? No, thank you.
Yeah, that's a death sentence.
Third camel clutch applied, and third is the charm. Buck taps. And he's just holding it on there for good measure. Next up, number 2, we have Ignacio Cervantes, the social outcast, trying his bid for to see if he can beat the Allfather, especially after that grueling 6 minutes.
Ugh.
And that was
Poor
brutal,
Ignacio.
too.
I mean, rip El Generico, but also rip this man, because the Allfather was not playing around. He was not playing.
You think
I feel like this is arguably the worst spot to be in terms of the line, because the first match, you got You got him when he's in top form, but you gotta think about it. At this spot, he's warmed up.
Oh yeah, warmed up. His adrenaline's already pumping, especially after Buck busted him open a little bit. And it looked like it healed a little bit. Some of that, I guess. I don't know if he is the actual Allfather from Myth, but maybe it's a little bit of that, just healing up a little bit. But he is definitely. I mean, it's arguably the worst spot, but he is definitely trying to prove himself to get out of, like, to at least make his name known.
I'll be honest. I hate to say this. When you're facing the Allfather, you know full well that it's only a matter of time before your bell gets rung hard. And good on Cervantes to be able to, take the hits and be able to bring on the pain. Like, he's actually doing pretty good on laying some pretty serious blows. But when the Allfather gets you out of the ring is when you really need to start realizing, oh, I'm in real danger here.
I'm in danger.
Yeah.
Literally.
Some hard boxing right straight to the mask of Cervantes, and it looks like he's setting up for something. See, here's another thing about the Allfather that you can never really predict about what he's going to finish you with. A Dominator or going right into the Camel Clutch. And Cervantes taps.
Humble.
Cervantes is made humble, and here we have Uzra. Ginger on ginger violence, ladies and gentlemen.
No, not gonna say it. Not gonna say it.
And
but I will.
You're fighting admirably? I'll say it.
Yes, we'll go with that. But at the same time, this is the first female competitor in this entire, match to go up against the Allfather.
I believe.
And honestly, putting up a hell of a fight.
I believe she was the only one, like the only female competitor.
Even better, good on Uzra.
A lot of the people who were in this match were a part of were dubbed the Bad Batch, or I believe that's what the nickname was. So literally anybody in that grouping going up against the Allfathers. I mean, you literally have 8 rookies going out at one of the most seasoned veterans that Warzone has. I mean, he's called the Gatekeeper for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. That's something that you should never test. And if this match does anything, it proves never test the Allfather.
Same time.
Don't fuck with our dad.
Yeah. But at the same time, something does need to be said here, and it needs to be said perfectly clear. While the Allfather does have an impressive record, we also need to remember he's also got a very equally impressive shit list, so to speak. There's tons of people on Warzone, not just Flashbang, but also Warzone, that would probably not mind getting a piece of the Allfather. And while he's taking his time with the rookies, how long before a few of the other, more seasoned talents decide to take a swing?
Well, the Allfather had, especially when he called in the Inquisition, made a lot of enemies. So I'm sure like people like Aiden Zero would probably want to get a shot at Arkhov himself. Or like
Aiden Zero, Burnout Vaughn. I mean, there's like there's a laundry list the size of like Texas that want a piece of it.
Speaking about the size of Texas, here we have Istanbul coming out to face the Allfather, and then next thing you know, the Constant Nightmare also comes out, and I think this was ruled as a triple threat,
which is kind of interesting considering the fact. But hey, fight is fight.
You think they would have both have teamed up against Arkhov on this situation, despite any differences that they may have, but no.
Yeah.
Well,
sometimes differences like that are just far too outstanding.
Well, and here's the thing, though. Both Constantinople and Istanbul used to be in a tag team known as the Turkish Delights. But when Istanbul took on his hiatus, the Burning Lounge adopted Constantinople into their ranks. We didn't really think that there was any kind of beef between them. I figured it was more or less a thing of it was mostly a competition between them of no, I'm going to be the one who pins him. No, that's going to be me. And that kind of got into their heads.
Yeah, the sibling rivalry effect.
I believe they're cousins.
Yeah, it's something. All I know is it was a whole Jacob and Aesop kind of deal where I'm gonna inherit the victory. No, I'm gonna inherit the victory. And, of course, the gatekeeper going, ha ha ha, you're just both going to inherit the pain of me beating the crap out of you two.
Adorable.
He literally looked at them and said, boy.
Now, like
boys,
here,
I guess.
he close-fisted, slapped his fist to the side, slapped his fist open, slapped the open palm up, then forward, and then went, boy.
Now
that was boy with like 5 eyes.
Okay, and then we saw Istanbul doing a very nice-looking powerbomb to the outside on Constantinople. Arkov taking advantage immediately, and then Istanbul trying to regain some form of momentum back, but yeah, Arkov. His experience is just being shown wildly here.
Yeah. Not only that, I mean, he immediately look at that ring awareness that Arkov has. He immediately recognized when the Constant Nightmare came in and just decided, okay, well, I gotta finish this quickly, otherwise I'm gonna get overrun. So
it has always been impressive. Arkov has always been one of the most, like, I don't know. It's almost like he's got a sixth sense. He's always prepped. It's kind of scary.
It really is.
Is the Allfather all-seeing?
I think that there would be some depth perception problems with the whole, missing an eye. Oh, hey, speaking of missing.
Yeah, we had a camel clutch applied onto Constantinople, and then a pinfall at Istanbul. Just barely didn't make it in. And the Allfather progresses into Mr. Enigma. The man who, well, as his name suggests, the consistent mystery.
And from what I remember, was hiding underneath the ring.
I believe so. He was just waiting for his chance to strike. I mean, it's a viable strategy.
I think Dagaric and Late Hyrule saw him down underneath there, if anything.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But
been awkward.
Well,
maybe he lives down there. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, I'm guessing if they did see him, it would be more them saying, "Oh, hey," and then moving on, because not their business.
True, but on the other hand, I'm surprised it didn't end up with Enigma being used as a weapon in the previous match.
Maybe he was the one giving them their weapons.
Makes sense.
Playing both sides of the fence. I see.
Well, Mr. Enigma's allegiances are a mystery in itself. No one knows what he's even in for.
Yeah, not only that, you could also call this match a cathartic match for Enigma, especially considering, well, what happened to him after he won his showcase match.
Brad was joking around with me the other day, and by the way, that reverse figure 4 locked onto the Allfather. Allfather scrambling for the rope, but powers right out of it immediately. Oh, just close fist straight to the dome. But yeah, Brad made a joke that what's under Enigma's mask is another mask.
I don't even know where to begin with that. It's probably an exclamation point.
That sounds about right. Why does that? Why?
Maybe he's got that morphing mask thing that Rorschach has in the comics.
Wait, isn't that an ink block test thing?
Yes, a Rorschach test, so to speak.
I hate those things. They always make me see things.
All I see is butterflies.
I just see my dad. I don't know why.
Ironically enough, I saw my mother in one of them one time. That was scary.
Moving on from this possible therapeutic session.
Please.
And we have Enigma getting right out of that Dominator, swift knee strike straight to the Allfather's beard.
Don't touch the beard, though, because, if there's... Okay, I understand on Flashbang, thou shalt not fuck with Doom, but on Warzone, thou shalt not touch the Allfather's beard.
And here we have another camel clutch after numerous submissions onto the Allfather. Does Nigma tap? He taps right out. And then immediately we get Sergeant Major Payne delivering quick strikes to the Allfather's skull. Apparently, that's also face paint, not an actual... He's not actually undead. So, that's good to know.
Aww.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, apparently it's mostly a tribute to the unknown soldiers. So, something nice.
Yeah, that's
okay.
respectful.
Yeah.
Respectful.
He's such a nice
I
guy.
will give credit.
Like a lot of people a lot of people in the production crew are just raving about him. He is such a nice and humble guy.
Yeah, I'll tell you who ain't crazy about him. Arkhov. Cause, that power bomb.
Now, at this point, you can totally see the fatigue that the Allfather is suffering under. He can feel all of the gauntlets coming to an end, but so can his stamina.
And then here we see Sergeant Major Payne getting right out of that camel clutch, and then sending the Allfather right onto the outside. And I'm not gonna lie, I think this is actually the best chance anybody would have. All you would have to do is beat the shit out of the Allfather and then just leave him there for 10 seconds, and then there you go. It's a win. It's not in. Some would argue it's not an honorable win as pinning or submitting somebody, but when you're going up against Arkhov, you need something. You need some form of strategy, and that's kind of legitimate.
Especially in a gauntlet match. I mean, a gauntlet match by its very nature is going to be taxing on endurance, and simply leaving someone out here is much easier than going for a pin of submission where they can fight out of it.
And here we have the Allfather dropping Major Payne onto the ramp, quickly getting right in and picking up a victory. And then here we have Nakano Kirishima and Mr. Butler of Blood Money coming in, and I think this was ruled in as a handicap match.
I wouldn't be surprised if Unkley had some pull on that front.
I don't think we can confirm nor deny that, but Mr. Butler putting in the work, just dismantling the Allfather's limbs here. Allfather's pretty much saying no. Kirishima trying to get some cheap shots in, and Butler accidentally hitting his partner, just slamming the Allfather right onto the mat. And here we have just...
Now there's...
Sorry, go ahead.
Butler is another one that gives me goosebumps. Like, he's been a lot more vocal recently, but he's still... That composition of the mask and the suit is unsettling, to say the least.
He's a bit of a... Well, some would say unhinged, especially with his... beliefs in his type of media that he enjoys. Just don't mention Oron High School host club. That apparently sends him on a whole tirade.
I'll take that under consideration.
This leads to many a question.
Yeah, I don't want to unpack that one.
In the meantime,
Arkhov not doing very well in this handicap match. He's holding his own, but you can certainly see the damage that Blood Money is putting in on him.
I mean, the fatigue from earlier on in the night combined with the double team kick out right at 2. Allfather's definitely feeling it. Let's see if Nagano can pick it up himself. Kicks out just shy over 2.
Arkov, at this point in the match, was certainly fighting for his life, doing absolutely whatever he can to just stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some people who argued that he was actually using those holds and the dismantling of limbs as like kind of like resting points, like trying to catch his breath.
Smart. It does slow down the pace of the match, allowing you to catch your breath, even just a little bit.
And all it takes is just a few seconds of quick breather to be able to get back and running hot.
Yeah, but here we have another pinfall coming up from Mr. Butler. 1, 2, kicks out right at 2.
And there's Nakano waiting.
He's definitely taken a lot of, he's been with Uncle Dunk for just shy over a couple of weeks. And he's already taking a lot of Uncle Dunk's tactics to heart. Just waiting for his moment to strike. And like just waiting for his opportunity to take advantage of the situation.
It certainly has been playing in his favor.
Especially just another rule set of just let the Butler do it.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, and then we have Butler taken down to the side of the ring. They're Nagano getting thrown right back into the ring. Arkoff is like, I'm going to take care of you real quick. Getting grabbed and then being dropped right onto the staircase, getting busted open once more. Fall away slam straight in the middle of the ring.
Oof, those steel steps leave quite the mark.
They do.
And kicks out right at 2, even after all that brutality from Mr. Butler. Kirishima just trying to hype up Mr. Butler. Mr. Butler feeling it. Picking up Arkoff, sending him right into the turnbuckle. And looks like he backed out of it, and then just dropping the forearm straight to the Butler's chest. Kirishima just watching on, trying to get a cheap shot in, but it doesn't get it all in. Or like it's like
Arkoff was all unfazed.
Like, it's, usually, and then just, oh god, just jumping on him, brutalizing him. I think he's out. I think he's dead at that point. No,
oh yeah, he is.
He's back up.
Oh, he's dead.
Good. Death approaches.
Speaking of death, camel clutch applied.
Is locked in. Butler trying desperately to get there, but unable to save him.
And here we have the last competitor, some people would call the top tier of the rookies. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Beowulf. And Beowulf, I mean, a Norse legend going up against a supposed Norse deity. He has got to feel more than honored to go up against the Allfather here.
I thought Beowulf was Danish.
It's still under that Scandinavian folklore and stuff.
Huh, fair enough.
I did a little research on it, especially after, other people kept yelling at me. It gets crazy. Sending
Much like this match.
Yeah, most definitely.
Agreed.
And if the Allfather beats Beowulf, that's all 8 challenges said, done in the books. 8 wins in a row. But if Beowulf gets the pin, I mean, that's got to send him straight into superstardom at that point. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, he would overtake so many people just on a victory.
Albeit that it would have been on a exhausted opponent. But that's still a pinfall on the gatekeeper.
That's pretty much a signed, sealed contract that you have graduated from being a rookie.
Yeah, I mean at that point I would put Beowulf in title contention. With his momentum and win streaks at this point, that would be more than enough to at least have him go for like the Big O for the Nexus.
I could see that. I could really see that.
Swift boxing strike straight to the helmet. And Beowulf looking dazed. If you guys will give me just one moment, please. Phyllis is asking me away for just a moment.
Oh, by all means, you're fine. But just 1, 2 kicks out. Seriously, I gotta give credit where credit's due. Beowulf, you're listening. I'm looking forward to this.
That's certainly an impressive hold to break free from.
Absolutely.
But, you know, just because you got out of the hold doesn't mean you got out of the Allfather's grip, because he immediately got pissed after seeing him being like, okay, you should have gone. And just back up on his feet.
Of all of the rookies involved in this match, I would say that Beowulf was probably the most hungry for this win. And just so happens he lucked out that he came out last. He had probably the best shot.
Oh, most certainly. Most certainly. But, I mean, you gotta give credit where credit's due. Just because you're hungry doesn't mean that that appetite can't come and eat you yourself. Because the Allfather, Arkhov, whoo! I think he had it with these, to paraphrase and make this a little kid-friendly, I think he had enough of these mother hubbin newbies in this Monday to Friday arena.
Smooth.
There's the win for Arkhov.
8.
Took everything he had, but he put down every challenge set before him. If there was any doubt as to the absolute talent that the Allfather has, it was put to rest tonight during this match.
I completely agree. It reestablished Arkhov as the one that you need to face if you need to get anywhere in this company as a competitor.
It reestablished not only Arkhov as a competitor, but as a threat.
He certainly earned his gatekeeper title back. After all, this came out, I believe this came out from his own request, that he wanted to kind of get back into the swing of things. As of late, he's been almost overshadowed in every organization he's been a part of. And this is exactly what he needed to get back out into the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't think it was mostly that he was overshadowed. It was mostly the rookies themselves were, I'm not gonna lie, are a little egotistical when it comes to like some of the older talent, especially one that didn't have a decent. He didn't have a great run in Flashbang, but he was at least somewhat respected, and a bunch of people pretty much saw that and went, "Are you sure that you are the gatekeeper? That you are the one who they speak legends of, who everybody in the back, all the old guard fear." And this reestablishes that fear and why you do not fuck with the Allfather.
You and I can agree upon, because I give credit to the newbies. I really do. The new blood got to taste one of the most bloodthirstiest veterans in all of the entirety of MNW Warzone. And it makes me think, oh god, what's next?
We will
Here's
have...
a question.
Sorry, go ahead.
Here's a question I have before we move on. Which rookie do you think performed the best?
Besides Beowulf, I would say Buck Bumble.
I agree, Buck. And just because, being the first one to fight the Allfather and lasting as long. I mean, 6 minutes with the Allfather. The only one I could think of would be the tag team combination of Blood Money with Butler and Nakano.
That was going to be what I was going to say. We can't rule out how well those two did together. Those two are probably the ones who brought the Allfather down the lowest, who got him the closest to being eliminated from his challenge.
I understand that, and that definitely would I mean, if I were Ugly Dunk, I would put them in for the tag title contention, or at least getting them into the tag team scene. But I'm thinking like the single person to give the Allfather a hard time, and who else was giving him a hard time out the gate besides Buck?
I tend to agree. Buck certainly showed the strongest of the individual lot, and Blood Money's run was impressive, but, well, 2v1 has its own merits and downsides.
But we are going to be moving on here. We only have a few more segments and about an hour until showtime itself. And we have the Iron Man match, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not looking for...
Oh, boy.
Yep.
The 1 hour
I'm gonna interrupt
Raw.
whatever you have to say
Look,
about
can
one
I
chance
look, as much as everybody kept
small
saying, you know,
tragedy
like,
has struck me.
like,
Somebody
going,
has right-click saved.
I looked forward to this because this was a
Work.
literal
Great.
vice
Wilson.
to the finish. Also,
we're
it's kind of weird, but when I was watching the match, you know, live at the arena, did anybody else feel like time flew by quickly? Because, like, I looked down at my watch and, whoo!
I mean,
You know, I felt the same way.
I did
actually.
I did taste. I could have swore I was tasting toast, if I'm being completely honest, when I was in the production truck. But that could have.
You too?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I kind of skipped dinner to go to the show. Yeah, I was going to get some burgers later, but
It's hard to tell when you're dead. Time acts all timey-wimey.
yeah, that timey-wimey stuff, I never understand it. I mean, also a lot of people would argue that time kind of flew by watching the match because it was that enjoyable. But then again, that was just Montoya kind of bragging.
To be fair, I mean, look, as much as we give these two crap at times, say what you will, they both came out with their hearts, with their burning fury against one another. And honestly, as somebody who enjoys petulance and spite and brutality, this match was up my alley.
It certainly was an incredible match in its own right.
You are not wrong on both of those regards. I want to say the rivalry of sorts. I mean, like let's not forget this started because Juan put on a gentleman's 3 against Wilson when it was supposed to be a tune-up match for his Big Oof title defense.
Scoop slam by Wilson.
Like. Juan Chance, who was formerly Juan Jobber, pretty much took Wilson to his limit, and that just spawned this whole big following out of nowhere, essentially. And if I was Wilson, I'd be angry at that myself. But I mean, I have to give it to Juan. He's shown drastic improvement since then, especially dropping his jobber name.
Absolutely. Agreed. He was a young lion, and you know he came to play, and facing off against somebody who has held, you know, both the Big Oof singular title on top of the trios titles. I mean, credit where credit's due. Juan and Wilson, they made this match, and personally, you know, yeah, I got a soft spot for VIP. But I've also come to appreciate Juan, at least, you know, in the fact that this was an hour-long brutality that was just mwah, mwah, mwah. Magnifico.
I think I went through like 6 bottles of water trying to keep up with this match.
You gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah, most definitely. Hail dehydrate, as they used to say back in 2018.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Exactly. And here we have kind of where the match kind of kicks off. Wilson boasting and the... Wait, what the fuck?
The hell?
What the hell's going on? Wait. No fucking way. They did it again!
They did it again! No! God!
Who did what?
Wait for it.
Looking for you. Oh.
Meme! When the fuck did they do this?
Wait, what?
Did this happen live during the show?
What did I not remember this?
How the
How
fuck?
did I not remember this?
How could anyone forget something like this happening?
How did this happen?
When did this happen?
Why did this happen? Wait, no, we know why.
Who did this happen? Wait, I thought we were continuing. Apologies.
No, you're fine. It was a good bit. And oh,
Wait, hold on. Are we seeing this? We're seeing these three sitting in a movie theater?
yep.
Are definitely
Watching the match.
We are definitely seeing something.
Give me a second. I'm actually smelling burnt toast right now.
When the fuck did this happen? Seriously, like I was in the production truck as this was happening. I guess you're gonna have to like go back into the match itself and see what the hell happened. But like, I don't know how the hell. Like, I was in the production truck. Everything was green. Everything was A-okay. And I'm gonna have to go back and watch the YouTube video. And what the fuck? They're speeding up time? What?
Wait. How can... Okay. No. I'm calling shenanigans. I am calling absolute fucking shenanigans. How the hell do 3 mechanized robots have access to time manipulation technology? I mean, I can understand Rosa because of the whole Terminator thing, but, you know...
I mean, Zako's from a distorted future, and...
Shouldn't that not exist anymore?
I don't fucking know!
He got back here somehow. That's still time manipulation technology.
Multiverse theory's a bitch.
Usually that's a one-way trip.
Multiverse theory's a bitch, man. I don't know.
Next thing you know, we're gonna have freaking bug people just walking in and just deciding to throw a freaking tournament.
What? I'm just... Listen.
Did we have that in the last batch?
No, yeah, I was gonna say, we have Buck, but also, I'm also looking at Arc Giraffa from RIW, and yeah, you don't want none. I'm just looking at this entire thing and going, what? How? No!
I feel like this is gonna mess with certain things in the, continuity stream, and, that's not a good thing.
Fucking... Oh, okay, on social media we got Sandman tweeting out, so that's why he felt like time was fucked with. So yeah, okay, so Sandman's on it. Sandman's on the case, apparently.
Okay, so, wait, hold on. I just had a dark realization. Does this technically warrant the investigation of Seth Jackson?
I think?
Oh no. Oh, Seth, don't do it. Don't go after me.
At least he has Istanbul with him, so he's not alone. But...
After Istanbul dealt with Arkhov? Yeah, no.
I was talking like for the next week.
Again, how long do you think it takes to recover from a fight with Arkhov?
I don't fucking know, dude.
Oh, wait, what the fuck? It's to the end? The hell?
Skipped over all of it?
But
they missed the Hurricane Rana. I don't know. They missed the literal triple axle somersault flip.
They skipped.
They missed
the latter
the
half.
1,000 Years of Death that Wilson performed on 1.
Oh.
And they also missed that one wrestling-themed musical number he performed that Juan just decked him in the face for.
That was a good distraction technique. I agree, but fucking, we got a tweet out from Sawyer. You're welcome. Buddy, bro, blah. You can't fuck with time like that.
Do you know horrific things you could do if you mess with time? Do you know what you could make? We could have horrific After Effects. We could have a Superman played by Nicolas Cage.
Oh, God.
We could have, Nickelback as the world's greatest band.
Ew.
No, do
Ew.
not mess with time.
Gross.
I hate to burst your bubble. Superman was already played by Nicolas Cage.
Briefly, but it wasn't ever finished.
No, he is actually in a movie portraying Superman.
I hate... He's not a bad actor.
This time was a mistake. No, we need a. Grimm was right. Grimm was right. We should have ended this timeline a long time ago.
Never admit that. Never admit Grimm was ever right. But you know what we could do? We could fucking progress after this mind fuckery that was the Iron Man match.
You do that. I need to get a stiff drink. I will return.
I don't blame you. Speaking about stiff, the Gouda boy, McCheese, going up against Lady Boots for the Nexus Titan champion. And I guess I'm not sure why McCheese didn't want to go full force and, unleash the abs at him. But that is what it's all for, ladies and gentlemen. The Nexus Titan champion. Pretty much a title that states that it's for the ones who put on some of the best matches that Warzone has to offer. It is a fantastic... It's had a shorter reign than the Hardcore Champion or the Big Oof title, but it's still a pretty prestigious title, even though it was debuted by Tomasi and Graves. I missed the Curse title.
I missed the Curse title as well.
It was so good.
Give me it back.
But here we have Boots coming in at full force, and we have a message from VIP. I don't need to use time manipulation to know Meme's time is up. Sawyer, Max is in your crosshairs, but I don't need a scope to snipe the neon green bot anytime. At least Maximilian Thunderthighs has evolved from Rhymes. Or so we think.
Wow, VIP angry about that match? What a shocker.
Couldn't tell you why.
Now, onto this match, though. It's actually a particularly interesting backstory with these two. Rumor has it that, well, I haven't met them individually, but Lady Boots is known for being a bit of a, shall we say, adventurous sort. And Sir McCheese seems to be very far from that particular wheelhouse. So it's interesting to see these two go up against. I even recall something about a note in a locker.
Yeah, after McCheese won his qualification match to go up against Lady Boots pretty much sent him a formal letter stating in a bunch of creative ways how the match was going to go. And McCheese, being the pillar of innocence that he is, didn't understand half of it. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm glad. He doesn't need that. He doesn't need to know.
I don't think I get it either, to be honest.
Oh,
maybe I'm just not in the loop.
Strong, virtuous.
Is it like a joke? Is it like a... What is it?
I'll tell you when you're older. Anyway, we have McCheese getting some nice headlocks onto the Princess of Corruption, Lady Boots, and Boots is just laughing the entire time that like Ojo-sama like cackle of hers, going in for a pin. 1, 2, kicks out right at 2. You're pretty much dealing with McCheese is facing up against someone who revels in dishing out and dealing pain. You gotta think that she knows that she's pretty much geared to take it as well, albeit not at the same velocity, so to speak.
This whole fight is going to have, unfortunately, laced innuendos, isn't it?
Yes, yes it is.
Well, embrace it now, I suppose.
And we got a tweet out from social media about not wanting to have exposed skin to Lady Boots. It's just showing a weak spot. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. That's a very fair take, and that's something that some people should be looking. So people should be taking it into account if they ever want to face her again. And then we have a nice chokehold on McCheese, just wrenching at that armor of his, just picking him right back up. Sorry.
It's always a shame when McCheese has to hide his exceptional cheese grater.
Yeah, it's a shining beacon. It's a shining beacon of hope.
dark business we work in.
And we have a response from our Sawyer. Take a long and hard look down that scope mask because it's the only green you're going to be seeing for a long time. Bye.
In that previous match, but this
The VI meme feud continues.
certainly matching up.
It never went away.
And then looks like Lady Boots is gearing up for that knee strike. Stolero, it gets caught into a drop toe hold. One of the more deadlier moves of the entire Nexus.
Perfect counter for
Looks like he was going to go for sword in the stone, but gets countered into that same knee strike.
more effective in that situation.
And then a Russian leg sweep.
Russian side slam and
Neither of them are giving an inch to the other in this one.
Well, it's definitely not, but it looks like she's going for that Stolaro again. And nimbly dodges out into another drop toe hold.
Right onto the rope as well.
Yeah, her nose caught all of that.
Oh, absolutely.
McChee's not showing only his,
And it looks like he
Has
said.
anyone even landed a special move at this point?
I don't believe they have. They've either been immediately countered or, just like not even gotten close to even trying for it. And then we have a superplex onto the middle of the mat. McCheese, you madman!
and I got to feel. Oh, I'm sorry, Boots. First defense. I'm sorry too.
Going in for 2 counts on Lady Boots. Kicks right out. Just again the toughness and resiliency of Lady Boots.
Perhaps that cannon is not so much.
I think just like once she stopped relying on her stand feel good ink, just pretty much wanted to be taken more seriously. She's that demand is just driving her. And I'm not gonna lie, she is one of the most fiercest competitors that we actually have. Especially because half the time she's wearing heels as she's fighting. That is not an easy feat.
Certainly not.
Knees.
I mean,
sorry.
You could see the
2, 3, and 3. She catches the win.
I don't think brutality is the right word, but ruthlessness of Lady Boots on full display here. And poor McCheese just could not keep up.
Stolaro double knees straight to the helmet. 1, 2, 3. Lady Boots retains the Nexus Titan Championship. Robbie. Looks like Robbie is away from his desk right now. So, CG, do you have any final thoughts?
Part of me is wondering if what would happen if Suicide Gemini and Lady Boots got into the ring together.
That sounds like heresy. That sounds like cursed. And I don't want anything. I do not want to be a part of that. Because you're dealing with a masochistic sadist and an actual sadist going up against each other. That's... Oh, wait. Oh, no. CJ, you just reminded me of something that's gonna be mentioned later. That's actually possible.
Really now?
Oh no.
Oh right.
Oh fuck.
Now I remember.
Yeah.
I feel like you did this on purpose.
Listen, I may be smarter than I appear. It's not confirmed.
I have to double check a couple of things to see if it's viable, but it's... Oh, God. So, ladies and gentlemen, our promo of the week for Warzone is from a Mr. Maximilian Thunderthighs. Enjoy.
Yo, you think this is a game? You think I'm a joke? You better sit down and listen hard there, folk. I gotta donate you some lyrical economics, so lip up and sit up for the Doctor of Abonomics. As I step to the ring, still holding my breath, former friends and allies giving me the stare of death, cause they don't understand where my mind has left, saying my soul is empty, but my wallet heft. But I ain't looking those behind me, cause they don't deserve it. There's only one golden faction, and you know they're worth it. You better take an Elo Bournes or you'll be hurting. Best wrestling squad is here, and that's a certain. I really had to change from the green to the gold, donned on the white and purple, and I do what I'm told, fool. fool. I'm the new recruit to the future champs to be, so be rumbled and be humbled by the new VIP. Now working all my life, serving in the VI paradise. Don't think and jump in twice, serving in the VI paradise. Now working all my life, serving in the VI paradise. Don't think and jump in twice, serving in the VI paradise. Look at devastation that we're all bringing. Suplex Sam brought the bus and the horn is ringing. And when the lounge opens up and our team descends, means these other faction times are up and they meet their end. The beef is bringing up the size and all the muscle. Suplex Sam keeping merch good, he's on the hustle. Then there's Work Rate Wilson, no one is quite wittier. Cross him hard and he'll hit you with this famous I'm prettier fool. Dr. Albanomics, he be scratching so slick. You better move fast, be last, you gotta be quick. The crew and I'll be showing up, and we're taking a stand, and we're led by faction leader Mr. Aussie Turan. Now working all my life, serving in the VI paradise. Don't think and jump in twice, serving in the VI paradise. Now working all my life, serving in the VI paradise. Don't think and jump in twice, serving in the VI paradise. On my neck you'll see gold chains on me. We may not agree, but I serve VIP. On my neck you'll see gold chains on me. We may not agree, but I serve VIP.
That was a thing. That... I hate that. I legitimately hate that because it was actually pretty freaking good.
I can't lie. I was bopping a bit.
Promo songs are certainly hard to pull off, so excellent job, Max.
I don't know, CJ. You went for UTK and PM did yours, and it seemed like it was very easy.
We make it look easy. Behind the scenes, it actually does take quite a lot of work, which is why I must tip my professional hat to the good Thunder Thighs.
Alright, well, that is our promo of the week, leading into our main event of Thanksgiving, the Warzone Super Show, the world title match against Aussie Turan and the MNW World Champion, Zaco Duo, representing Meme. And one of the most prestigious titles that Warzone has to offer, the MNW World Heavyweight Championship. And it was a lot leading into this match, I'm not going to lie. I mean, Aussie are breaking Zaco's arm just to start with. I mean, Sawyer tried to get the repairs done, but it couldn't have been done in time. And then immediately into it, Trials of Osiris. Zaco breaks out, but you know Aussie had that wicked grin to him. Like, I could bring this out at any point of the day. And that probably made Zaco very, very nervous.
This was an incredibly scary match. Both of these competitors are scary in their own rights.
And certainly a match that they've had before. I think I've seen this fight several times, and every single time it has been a nail-biter.
And I want to say, like, more times than not, it was Aussie tapping out Zaco.
Aussie thrives on the ground, Zaco does not.
And also, yeah, according to our social media, thank you for reminding us. Generickson from Flashbang commentary actually came in to commentate with Montoya and Aldini.
Here we go with that stop. There it is.
Oh, it's good to see Eric getting more work.
Yeah, I like Eric as a commentator. He's a good dude.
Bushings falling to pieces.
Yes.
You can only imagine what's happening.
Unfortunately, he has the less enviable position of being, well, commentators for a lot of us Flashbangs. We can get a little rowdy.
I will say nothing on the matter.
I will also say nothing on the matter.
Absolutely no idea on the matter, so...
I
Awesome. Gentlemen, here you go. Each of you gets a shot here.
Oh, thanks.
Enjoy the whiskey.
Maybe after the show, but thank you. I'm just gonna put this napkin on top of this real quick.
How cool have VIP been able to keep it? How cool have memes been?
All right, so then we have Zacho. Looks like he's sending Alcir to the outside, and then a diving drop kick straight onto the chest of the Pharaoh. And this is the exact area that you want to be in when you come against Aussie or Turan, or hell, any submissions user in general, because all you need is less than 10 seconds to start whooping on your opponent, just so they can get a little bit, just so that they can get that more fatigued and not try any submissions on you later in the match. But here we see Zacho trying to catch his breath?
Breath. We'll call it breath.
Trying to developing new strategies into how to counter Ausier's offense.
Power.
Yes, channeling his power.
Calculations. We'll say running calculations.
That seems about right. And then here we go. That arm breaker straight to the bad arm. And Zacho getting right out of that. The ace is the self-called ace is having just the hardest of times against Ausier.
I mean, to be fair, it's Oscar Tehran. This is literally the leader of VIP and probably the most dangerous of all the submission wrestlers.
With how fluid he can be and how opportunistic he is with that Trials of Osiris armbar, I have to agree. His cunning and intelligence backing up his in-ring skill makes him one of the more dangerous people in all of Warzone.
Knee to the head.
There was a phrase used to describe Azir, and I forget who coined it, but flows like the Nile, stings like the desert.
Yeah, that definitely feels about right. Get up.
I believe we can. Hell, put it on a shirt. We could literally make money off of this.
Texting Gorville. Oh, and then the freaking armbar right onto the ropes. Zacho can't tap out from that position since it's technically outside, but it's just like not only is he wrenching out that arm, but the rope is pretty much helping Asir just try and break that freaking shoulder.
Basic torqueometry, my guy. Basic torqueometry.
Zacho was certainly put into a lot of unfavorable positions during the course of this match.
Headbutt to the groin.
That he can still pull out of the bag of tricks.
You know what? The moment passed. It's not worth it.
No, go ahead.
Zacho looking like he was having a little trouble bringing
An unfavorable position. I jumbled it. I apologize.
No, I got it. I respect you for it.
It was solid.
But I don't like it.
I mean, I gotta say, that one was quite well set.
Fuck
I get that one.
off.
There it is. Off switch.
Off switch straight to the dome, straight to the throat of the Pharaoh, but the Pharaoh getting right back up, taunting Zacho. Come on, champ, come at me.
Yeah, and he came at him with a nice little hit to the face.
And it wasn't. And then quickly dodging out of the way, just kicking the Pharaoh straight to the face and just trying to hype the crowd up just a little bit more. And they were on their feet this entire match, too.
It's odd to see Zacho caring about the crowd. He's usually so, well, to paraphrase, screw the haters attitude about it.
Going in for a 2 count and kicks out.
Jerry, did you see how slow that
and
agreed.
How little energy there was?
It's weird seeing Zacho being this, I wouldn't say family friendly, but this interactive with the audience in such a more favorable light.
Well, it's because of the audience, and pretty much, it's because of the audience that, I mean, Zacho and Meme are in the position that they're in. So many people were behind them, and the brass probably saw that, and, I mean, Meme is a group of highly intelligent competitors. They probably saw the writing on that wall, too, and were like, all right, like us if you don't, like us if you want to, but don't. If we do something you don't like, that's technically your fault.
Again, Azir Turan.
Fair. Always play devil's advocate. Or Lucius's advocate, so to say. But, in the meantime, we have to give credit where credit's due. This match has been absolutely spectacular and stunning. Just the back and forth. It's like a pendulum between these two.
Yeah, this was like a 51-49 split. I mean, hell, I would argue 50-50 split, 49-49 split between the both of them with that small margin of error. Looks like it's going in for a red comet, and then gets countered into a Trials of Osiris.
Azir was really playing well when it came to these stratagems, especially considering the fact that he made sure to focus primarily on Zako's, the one arm of his that, yeah, while it is a new arm, and of course, you know, less damage to it compared to his old one, it still needs to be, you know, put to the test. And then he focused on the other one.
And then an Asnable effect, straight to the dome, gets countered when trying to go for it again, and then a boss KO. 1, 2, 3. Using the MVP's finisher, Zako picks up a victory against Azir Turan, retaining his MNW World title.
It was a hard-fought match, but he came out on top.
It was. And
both men put everything together, and ultimately, Zako walked away the winner.
It did. He did. Though something just clicked in my head.
I cannot believe what we just saw.
If I may bring a discussion to the round table here, so to speak.
No, go for it.
Have you noticed that throughout this entire show, echoes of the MVP's past came floating back to the surface? I mean, Zako ends the entirety of the show and ends his match with a move by Bosco himself, defunct channeling, you know, just channeling the teachings of the bowl. I feel as if, I don't know, I feel as if something bad's coming this way.
Like, are you saying, like, this would be like a return of sorts?
Not necessarily a return, but well, you know how people tend to say history tends to repeat itself?
Yes.
Think about it this way. Think less on history repeating and an echo just being reverbed, so to speak.
I'm gonna play ignorance here.
Unfortunately, I have to agree. I've noticed a few of those undercurrents during this entire program, with the C-101 on the horizon.
Yes, and it's almost as if, well, those that did not learn from the past are now doomed to repeat.
And we do have a bunch of people who we have a bunch of people, especially in the audience, who have not seen nor witnessed what the self-proclaimed undisputed MVP was capable of. And apparently, according to Rosso on social media, he still has Bosco's hoodie. Lovely.
That was a fantastic jape, I must admit.
That was a fantastic
it got
swerve.
Me, that one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it got me. But you can't deny that was an absolute baller match.
That was a fantastic match, and
it was incredible.
I cannot wait and see what happens with Zako in the future. But with the main event in the books, we progress onto the Warzone moment of the week.
And no victory yet, but we've got a long road to go, ladies and gentlemen.
The desperation showing.
And here we go, and it's going to be...
In the not too distant future, next Sunday AD, there was a guy named Joe, not too different from you or me.
This song ain't ain't about him. It's about a group named Meme who watch all these crappy matches when they become obscene.
You're wondering how he eats and breathes and other science facts. Then repeat to yourself, it's just a show. I should really just relax. For Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Me edition.
Here we are once again at Shatsterpiece Theater.
Please be Rock vs. Stone Cold. Please be Rock vs. Stone Cold. Please be Rock vs. Stone Cold.
Suggestion: Optimus Prime versus Megatron.
Transpoggers, please don't sue us, Hasbro. Fuck!
Can't.
That was not the moment that I posted earlier. What the fuck?
Face it. Memes got access to our entire computer system.
The system's rigged.
Yeah, but you know, it was a good swerve and a good shape. I just wish that they didn't fuck with time itself.
Look. As the wise man once said, the game was rigged from the start.
Ugh.
Ring-a-ding.
Ring-a-ding-ding something.
Alrighty then. So with that, the Warzone Super Show Thanksgiving is in the books, and you can check out Friday Night Flashbang here in about, I don't know, like 20 minutes or so on twitch.tv/Edward Bosco and MNW Warzone on twitch.tv/Dr_Caliban tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now, before we vamos for the evening, we have one more thing that we need to announce. Ladies and gentlemen, we have word about the C101.
Multiverse Nexus Wrestling is proud to present the opportunity of a lifetime. Warm your hearts with wrestling passion as we welcome forth the most dangerous and chaotic chants for glory. The C101 Culmination! 20 wrestlers will compete in 2 10-man blocks. The match time limit is 20 minutes. If a wrestler is victorious, they acquire 2 points. Time limit draw, 1 point for both wrestlers. If a wrestler is pinned, they are awarded 0 points. Now, without further delay, here are your competitors! Block A, the Ace Zacko Duo.
Trust me.
Block B, the trustworthy Samjax. Block B, Shoe Nation's Devon! Block A, Shoe Nation's Jack Abbott! Block A, the Mistress Lady Boots. Block A, the Dagger Daggerick! Block B! The Dawn Victor Vicious! Block B! The Sentai Hero Brawl Kaiser! Block B! The Mandalorian Kuso Kill! Block A! Mad Worlds The Madness! Block B! The Nightmare Zeracus! Block B! Doomsday Michael Macabre! Block A! The Pumpkin King Magic! Block B! The Homicidal, Suicidal, Suicide Gemini! Block A! The Mad Lad of London, Ginger Boy! Block A! Our man, Daverman! Block A! The Cyberpunk Prodigy, Aiden Zero! Block B! The Grave Digger, Graven Allen! Block B! The Black Prince of Wales, Jack Andrews! Block A! The Janitor! The competitor with the most points from both blocks will compete in the annual Ultimate Culmination Match, where the winner will receive a world title shot at either the Multiversal or the World's Heavyweight Championship of their choosing. And you can catch all the action on Twitch. Block B airs on twitch.tv/Edward Bosco, Fridays at 5 p.m. PST. And Block A will air on twitch.tv/Dr. Caliban, Saturdays at 1 p.m. PST. Who will stand? Who will fall? And who will reach the culmination?
Alrighty, and that was the announcement for the C101 and who is in each block. And I'm not gonna lie, that I am beyond excited.
It's certainly, we are certainly gonna see some matches tonight. Fucking the C101. We have our first round of matches tonight on Flashbang.
Yes, coming up tonight on Flashbang, which should be starting here in a few moments, ladies and gentlemen, we have Devin of Shoot Nation versus Kuso Kale. The two, both tag champions in their own rights, going up against each other. And then we have the Harbinger of Doomsday, Michael Macabre, going up against the Black Prince, Jack Andrews. The homicidal Suicidal Gemini takes on Brawl Kaiser, the Sentai hero, the good boy, and as well as the Night Reaper Zerachus going up against Seven Jacks of the Conquest Bloodline. And finally, wrapping it up, we have... Alright, so we have Flashbang starting up next week, but the kickoff is tomorrow on Warzone. Thank you for letting us know, Jerry Aldini. But next week, we have the World Heavyweight Champion, Victor Vicious, going up against the Chocolate Zombie, Graven Allen. And tomorrow on Warzone, the Dagger Daggerick takes on Aiden Zero of High Voltage. Lady Boots takes on the Madness of the Mad World. The Janitor faces Ginger Boy. Another third of Doom of Magic goes up against our man, Daverman. And finally, the other half of Shoot Nation, Jack Abbott, goes up against the MNW World Champion, Zacho Duo. I am stuttering like crazy because of the pure excitement that's happening right now. Those last five are going to be tomorrow on Warzone, whereas the first five are going to be next Friday. And I'm not sure when the Trios match is going to, when the Trios tournament is going to be kicking off, but it's probably going to be next week as well. So what are some of the matches that you guys are looking forward to? Personally speaking, I'm not going to lie. I would love to see Vicious versus Zacho, but I know that's not going to happen. But
I'm really excited to see Ginger Boy versus Zacho Duo. The previous heavyweight champion of Flashbang before Nero took over the title goes up against the current title holder for Warzone. The impact is going to have rippling effects depending on who wins that match.
CG, who are you looking forward to?
To be honest, I'm excited for more or less just the whole event. If you had to put a gun to my head and tell me to pick one, I'm not actually sure I could give you an answer.
Would that work?
Would the gun work anyway? You are a ghost.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Can you kill it?
Listen, my friend got hit with a car. I'm sure a gun could work if you were clever enough.
Fair enough. Robbie, how about you? What are some of the matches that you're looking forward to?
Gotta be real here. Every last one of them. It's like an early Christmas.
Well, it's officially the Christmas season because Thanksgiving was yesterday. So, hey, we're finally in the Christmas spirit.
I don't feel bad about buying those Little Debbie Christmas trees anymore.
They are delicious.
Why would you feel bad about buying them? They're delicious.
They're delicious, but I mean, as a competitor, I'm guessing he would be a little. It would technically be like a cheat thing.
Do carbs even do anything to you?
That's a good question, actually.
Again, if I want them to. And yes, because, frankly, if it weren't an afterlife where I couldn't enjoy Little Debbie cakes or Ecto Cooler, I would be in hell. And I am clearly not in hell.
Fair enough, actually. So, we actually...
Extremely fair enough.
So, we actually made a mention earlier about what would happen if Princess Boots and Gemini were in a match together. That's a possible final match. Like in the finals.
That is possible.
Oh, right.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yes, very interesting indeed. And that is the show. So, I guess the last thing that we have to say, let's just go down the line here, kind of go down the horn. And Marty, is there anything that you would like to tell the Firing Line audience?
Boy. Let me think. No, actually, you know what? I think I'm good. I'm happy to be here. The opportunity to come on the show was incredible. And I couldn't have done it without the audience.
Yeah, and all right, and we do thank you for being here. Robbie's status was a little unknown if he was going to show up today, but speaking of which, Robbie, is there anything that you would like to tell the Firing Line audience?
From the bottom of my heart, thank you all. You're a bunch of wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. And honestly, all I can say is I'm looking forward to these next coming months. The absolute bloodbath of these next few shows. And as a friendly reminder, make sure you cross your T's, dot your I's, and file out all paperwork. Because if not, Anon's going to literally pop out of a vent, grab you, and drag you through the vents to his office. And that is nightmare-inducing.
Yeah, that can get a little crazy. But last but certainly not least, CG, is there anything that you would like to tell the Firing Line audience?
Yes, I would. To all the audience members who attend these shows in person, I say thank you once more for being here. But if you so happen to see a seat unoccupied, beware. There may be a friendly phantom sitting next to you. And thanks to them as well for keeping our seats warm during these past year or two.
And with all that being said and done, as we are winding down here, I would like to say thank you for everyone. And we're still technically in the Thanksgiving spirit. Very thankful for you all for the reception and just overall positivity towards this incarnation of Firing Line. But once again, I am Joe Mojo with just kind of going down the line, Marty the Intern, the Bad CG Ghost, and Robbie Slick. That is Firing Line, and this is us signing out.
Greetings, Multiverse. I am Dr. Vincent Vladimir Caliban, mad scientist, master criminal, and leader of House Caliban. If you enjoyed the video you just saw, please, I invite you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's the proper thing to do.